Welcome to this high school sports showcase event on Harford TV. I am Ray Ruse, and I am here with my broadcast partner, Tyler Scruggs. We are at Aberdeen High School for the Tydings Track and Field Championships. Before I preview the meet slightly, I want to first welcome my friend Tyler.
Thank you, Ray. It's great to be here at the Tydings Divisional Championship for track and field. I'm excited for all the action we're about to see.
So I want to thank Tyler. He is filling in for his friend and my son, Travis Ruse, who got called to a meeting. I think he was kept after school because he was in trouble, Tyler. What do you think?
That's usually the deal with him. I'm not going to throw him under the bus or anything, but I did see admin talk to him today, so we'll have to find out tomorrow.
Definitely. So I see some girls here on the infield getting ready for the first race, folks.
All right.
So this is a 5-team meet between Bel Air High School, Patterson Mill High School, Falston High School, Aberdeen High School, and Jopptown High School. They went from the 2-division format before, Tyler. They used to have a Susquehanna and a Chesapeake, and it included Cecil County. They switched to 3 5-team divisions. Cecil County has their own division championships in regular season. It doesn't mean they can't cross over and play the other divisions in regular season meets or games. Right. So this division, the Tydings, I was told the Tydings and the Haydoms were famous politicians / good people who did a lot for Harford County. They had some highways named after them, and now they have divisions named after them. So I told Don Morrison, I said, so all I have to do to get a sporting event named after me is go into politics for a while and then have a highway named after me?
Sounds like it, yeah. Politics the way to go to get your name out there,
That's
I guess.
Right. So that young lady on the screen right there, Monica, I'll get her last name. That young lady in the orange shorts is a coach of Falston. And Tyler, this is the neat thing about sports. I coached her when she was a kid.
Oh, it all comes full circle eventually, doesn't it?
So she could not keep calling me Coach Ray. So the other people were saying Mr. Ruse or Ray, and she just kept saying Coach Ray. And I'm thinking, Monica, I'm not going to make you run any intervals anytime.
Not so formal.
But anyhow, I get it because I just saw my high school soccer coach on Monday at our golf outing, and I couldn't not call him Mr. Palmer.
Creatures of habits, Ray.
Yes.
Creatures of habit.
So we're going to preview this first race here for you folks. I'm going to call the first one. And actually, Tyler, I think we might have time. I'm going to say that for this 4x800 relay, we're going to have Patterson Mill in lane 1 with Carly Lenhoff, Hannibal Wang, Vivian Farmer, and Abigail Horsman. And in lane 2 in Aberdeen, we're going to have Alyssa Allen, Evelyn Smith, Kayla McNicholas, and Faith Manzanares. In lane 3, we're going to have Bel Air with Amelia Grahy, Vivian Sethi, Sophia Mahani, and Mina Kneffel. In 4 is Joppatown. We have Michaela Claudia Reed. We have Tiana Abel. We have Anaya Ellis. And we have Harmony Dixon. And Tyler, I think I did pretty good on those names.
I think you nailed them, Ray.
I did.
Looks good to me.
We apologize in advance, folks. We did not have time to talk to every coach about the pronunciation of names, so we are doing our best. So, Tyler, you told me you were a high school and college track athlete, and we both said we've tried the 800 before. I had a little bit more experience in it than you, but you said, ironically, we both ran the same exact time for our best time, 2:05. It's a tough event.
Maybe the toughest, right?
Yeah.
It really might. It's a brutal mix of speed and endurance, and honestly, I don't know anyone other than strict 800 runners that look forward to this. You pull a 400 runner up, you're scared of the distance. You pull a distance runner down, and they are scared of the speed. It is the perfect mix.
Now, I love the strategy in here. Now, I'm seeing a team not on the line here yet, and it's Falston. Oh, Falston didn't have one.
No, let's see. We got Joppatown lane 4.
Yeah, I see Joppatown there, and I see
Bel Air.
I think Bel Air is
Aberdeen.
Missing. We got Patterson Mill,
Aberdeen,
Joppatown, and Bel Air. So that means we're missing
Joppatown.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see them there. So what we don't know, folks, is one kid could be hurt. One kid could be sick, and the way the school rules work, if you're even late for school, you cannot be in a sporting event that day. We almost had a jump with a gun there, but
that was close.
So Tyler, in this race, I'm just going to say this: you did say that this event, if you want to use a word, hurts more than most, and it does. It's a painful event, but anytime you're in the relay, it's easier than the individual event because you're there for your teammates.
I feel the same way. I don't know if it's something about team camaraderie that kind of gives you that extra edge, the fact that you don't want to let your teammates down, or the fact that you have other people depending on you. Just something about that always gives you a little extra heart,
So
I guess you could say.
I told you that I was always the 5th man on the 4x4 and the 4x8 because our team was outstanding. And I got to anchor our B relay at Joppatown, and it was like 6 teams at the meet. And long story short, I ran the best race of my life and the anchor, and we got first with our A team and second with our B team. And my coach comes up to me and he goes, "Why don't you run like that in the Open 800?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Just different, right? It really is. And I know I've run my best splits on relays.
Yes.
Something about it.
Yep. So we got a pretty tight race here so far.
Yeah, they're still stuck together there. Looks like we have Patterson Mill slightly in the lead, followed by Bel Air, which is followed by Aberdeen. But they're all so close. It's still anyone's race. They're just coming around, finishing their first 400, it looks like.
So that's a great shot of from our cameraman down there on the right of our screen here. And we have some up here on the booth. Shout out to all of our great cameramen. You see different styles of runner. Like even in a distance or middle distance, you have longer striders. So our leader, Carly, I really like the way she strides out there. And our second place runner is also Alyssa Allen. That's Amelia. Yep. So Amelia is somebody I know. She took swim lessons from me at Harford Community College for years, and she's one of the Bel Air High School star swimmers, her and her sister. And here's the thing. Sometimes swimmers are very good middle distance and distance runners.
Oh, I believe it. Swimming, that is a tough sport. You need a lot of endurance and a lot of similarities to track and field and skills that can cross over. So I'm not surprised if she's able to use any of that training you gave her at swimming today.
Well, I don't want to take credit for her running at all because I didn't train her running, but I love that she does both. So I think we could say we can get a triathlete in this young lady. If she can bike, she'll be good at a triathlon. So here's the thing, Tyler. Watch this handoff here. You have different styles, but usually it's an open hand to an open palm. And even though this is a distance race, you don't want the person receiving the baton to be moving away too quickly because this person is coming in as exhausted.
Right. You don't want to leave them in the dust. That's the worst thing you can do as a teammate.
But you also don't want to just stand there and they run into you. So if they're coming in 10 miles per hour, you got to be moving out 8 miles per hour is the best analogy I can use.
No, that makes sense. Just slow enough to them to slowly catch you. But again, like you said, you can't just be standing there.
Tyler, I say, just so you know, because you're new at this with me, I only say smart things once in a while.
Oh, boy.
I try to keep it to a minimum, you know.
Well, you're with the right person because I try to say smart things all the time, and it doesn't seldom work out for me. So I'll take once in a while, right?
Hey, as long as you're smarter than your elementary school students, that's all that matters.
That's why I'm elementary school gym teacher. Not too hard to be smarter than an 8-year-old. Sometimes they scare me. Sometimes they're too smart for their own good. But usually I like to think I'm the smartest guy in the room.
So let's talk about the strategy of running a middle distance or distance race. What happens in running is you know how you feel. Nobody else knows how you feel.
Right.
So we have a thing in running that we call, and even in swimming, where you put like a spurt on, you put like a little surge on, and you're trying to psych out your opponent. So like the person that's in the lead here, if they wanted to put on a 150, 200-yard surge to see if they can break the person behind them mentally, because that person behind them might be thinking, I can't do that pace, and they might break stride a little bit and go slower. The distance is attainable still because we're only 1.5 runners in on this, but she's starting to stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah,
that looks like
Patterson
Hannah Mill. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say she's about 25, 30 meters ahead. Her stride looks good, but I like that word you used earlier, Ray, mentality. With the longer races, it is a lot of mental. And pulling away, kind of breaking that composure of your opponents can go a long way because the longer races, you got more time to think, right? Which is why I was glad I was a sprinter.
So this having Joppatown drop out and Falston not enter a team is interesting to me because they must have smaller teams because that's something you and I were talking about before, points off the table for the team
Leaving
competition.
points on the table.
And if I am correct, the scoring system for track and field is top 6. It's usually 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Now, if you tied for something like a distance in a long jump was exactly tied, then you take those 2 places, divide it by 2.
So they split those points,
Yes.
okay?
So good form. Looking cool with the sunglasses there, Tyler. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what?
Seems to be the trend with Patterson Mill. They all got sunglasses.
Good
on
runner.
today.
Well, look at the environments today. We're up here in the booth, and you may be able to hear in our microphones the wind blowing. Down there on the track, you can see the wind moving things. They're trying to hold the tent together right there that you just passed at the finish line has blown twice. A couple have blown in the stands. So you have a very hot day. It's like 87 degrees. You have strong wind. So that's going to affect almost every race.
Oh, yeah. A little bit of battling the elements in different ways for each race.
Well, think about the sprinters if they go into the headwind.
It's blowing right at you. It's
Yeah.
going to make it a lot more difficult.
I mean, something like, they didn't do it today, so luckily it was yesterday, and we'll get you those results soon. But the high jump and pole vault was yesterday. That would be tough in this wind.
Oh, absolutely.
now.
Absolutely.
So while we are letting this runner here go, I'm going to try to do something here on my phone, folks. Yesterday was the high jump and pole vault. So the results I have here show that in the men's high jump, 6th place was Brensley McNish. 5th place was with a jump of 5 feet. 5th place, Charles Taylor. And by the way, Brensley was from Bel Air. Charles Taylor, 5th place from Bel Air, 5'2". Jackson DeNicolo, 5'4" from Falston. Timothy Simmons, 5'4" from Joppatown. Malik Garrison, 5'8" from Joppatown. And Cole Polick, 5'10" from Joppatown.
Wow.
Swept the first 3 places. That's really
Nice.
great for the results there. Going to the girls, the men's pole vault. I'll read that real quick, and then we'll finish this race here. 6th place from Patterson Mill with a jump of 8 feet, Alex Villani. 5th place from Bel Air, Alex Gray, 8'6". Jack Taylor from Bel Air, 8'6". Ryan, this must be boys again. My bad, this is boys. Ryan Glacken from Bel Air, 8'6". Evan Chacona from Falston, 10 feet. And Patterson Mill, big difference, Owen Young, 13 feet. We'll finish this race here, folks. And I got one more leg here coming up, and this is what we call the anchor leg. Tyler, I'm sure you've gotten this experience. I've been able to have it a few times. It's a prideful but a little bit nerve-wracking position to be
A
in.
lot of pressure on the anchor leg. A lot of pressure, especially when the race is really close. Now, it looks like Patterson Mill is getting some distance here, so maybe not as much pressure, but anchor leg, all eyes are on you. You're finishing the race.
Yes.
You're crossing the finish line. No handoff. Now, I was always the lead leg, though, Ray.
Right.
Our strategy was always to try and get off to a really good start,
Right.
kind of break the mental, like we talked about earlier, of the other teams. It also didn't hurt that I was the only person on my relays that came out of blocks.
Yep.
And we'll see a lot of that with our sprints and why blocks are so important for different races. But it looks like all of the teams are coming around on their last leg. We have the last handoff there with Aberdeen.
So this is an interesting concept. You always want your athletes to do their best, but my track coach, Ron Bishop, and I told you he was great with the running events, if we were winning a relay like this by a long stretch and our anchor was also running the 400, 800, and 4x4, then he told them, run a good first lap, make sure you win convincingly, but don't do your best time
Don't
this time.
hurt yourself. Don't
Right.
push it too hard. We
Right.
need that energy and that juice for later. And if you have points guaranteed, why risk it?
Yep.
Now, right now, it looks like we have some action there between second place. If that is Aberdeen passing
Yes.
Bel Air.
Yeah.
Aberdeen passing Bel Air. Patterson Mill still with a nice healthy lead. I'd say of about 100 meters. But it looks like for second, we may have a
We have
battle
a real
going
good
on,
battle
right?
run here, yeah. So she passed her.
Yes.
I told you about the psychology part. The young lady from Bel Air, Mina Neffel, she's doing a good job of staying right on her back.
Right on her back, not giving her any room.
And that's called drafting. And she passed her again.
There you go. They're going to be back and forth.
So let's see if our Aberdeen anchor, Faith Manzanares, will stay on her back and keep it close, because it is tough when you work hard to catch somebody and then you pass them, but did you use up too much energy to catch them?
Exactly. And when passing them, I believe, is important. You know, you saw earlier here at Bel Air coming back in the seconds, they passed them on the straightaway. I was always told it's better to make your move on the straightaway than on the turns. And as you see, she did that. And now we have Bel Air breaking away from Aberdeen a little bit. Patterson Mill still has about a 100-meter lead. They're coming around the home stretch now of that last 100 meters. Patterson Mill looking good, not breaking stride. And
you got a smile on her face. Abigail knows she's bringing home the win for her team.
Bringing it home.
That's a nice feeling.
Oh yeah, that's the best. When you get the finish, no pressure, and get the win, I think that's a pretty successful relay there by Patterson Mill.
Good job. And Patterson Mill, and I'll go through the results later, but Patterson Mill is the defending girls champion from last year.
Okay.
So right here we have our anchor coming in for Bel Air, Mina.
Yep.
And then we're going to have the Aberdeen young lady, Faith, coming in. Good job all around, ladies.
Exciting race.
So, Tyler, I will let you start calling the names for the boys' heat.
All right, so for the boys 4x800 meter relay, in lane 1, we have Bel Air with Nicholas Diaz, Garrett Osher, Ryan Glacken, and Colin Morelli. Lane 2, we're going to have Patterson Mill with Joshua Detzel, Noah Janigan, Chris Novak, and Dylan Nixon. Lane 3, we have Falston, starting with Joshua Atha, Jackson Deniclio, Logan Genevieve, and Nicholas Spangler. Lane 4, we have Aberdeen, starting with Benjamin Tyendell, Micah Anderson, Luca Danielle, and Christian Gomez. And in lane 5, we have Joppatown with Vincent Howard, Naam Wali, Shahid Peace, Kareem Sariba Kanate, and James Mabel.
So I like how they have them down there on the track with the cones, first, second, and third runners, or no, they have them by the team, but in order. So they'll call the first runner by the cone out, or whoever number 1 is, you'll see them walking to the track right now with the baton. Tell you what's crazy about that baton, Tyler, is you got to guard it like it's a piece of gold.
You lose that, man, you're done.
Yes.
You are done. My coach made us treat that baton like it was gold.
It's like you hear
glued
about
to your hand until the race starts.
You hear about college and high school football coaches making the running back carry the football around campus, and people deliberately try to knock it out of their hand, and it's so they won't fumble. The rules, folks, are if you drop the baton, but you don't have to go out of your lane or inside the infield to pick it up, you can get it and come back. So, So the thing for me is people don't know this, but you got to wait and make sure that you don't have somebody clip your hand or the baton when they're pumping their arm, and it's dangerous. So they all have it in their right hand right now. So here we are in a good tight start. Let's see what happens here. See, we have one young man trying to break out here a little bit from the pack right away.
I believe that is Nicholas Diaz from Bel Air.
Yeah.
So they're off to a very strong start. Still in first place. The back of the pack still close together with Aberdeen, Falston, it looks like Joppatown. Coming around that first turn, Bel Air still with a strong lead, and they're getting out hot. And we talked about sometimes it's important to get out hot. Breaks that mentality, sets a good tone for your relay. Now the question is, after starting off hot, can you finish hot?
Yes, can you maintain that? So here's the thing about running. You probably coach sports, you ran track, you did other sports. Your coaches know your pace too. So there's 20 coaches around here right now today with stopwatches in their hand, and they're looking at this pace. Now, if this man comes through at a 1 minute and he can do a 2 minute, then it's fine. But if they're doing a 2:20 normally and they come through at 1 minute, the coach is going to tell them, back it down a little bit, because you don't want to hit that wall that we talked
Right.
about, or they say the piano jumping on your back. Because if you're a 2:20 800 runner and you go out the first half in 1 minute, you're 10 seconds ahead of pace for that lap.
And that's going to make that second lap even harder. And I just
Yeah.
want to correct myself. That's actually Patterson Mill in first place. That's Joshua Detzel. He has a strong lead now of about, I'd say, 15, 20 meters, with Bel Air following. Followed up by Aberdeen, Falston, and Joppatown.
And they're packed together for third, fourth, and fifth for a
They're
nice
very
race.
close, within 5 meters of each other.
So this race here, I got to do it some in indoor track, and it's even tougher in indoor track. 'Cause
Agreed.
it's a short lap, and you're taking like 2 or 3 laps depending on the distance of the. Because there were tracks we ran at, Tyler, that were like a weird level, like 175 yards per lap. So you didn't even hand off and receive at the same spot each time. But it just a lot of turns and a lot of running and a lot of strategy. But like I said, you'll see these young men and young women coming off the track very tired. So let's see if we can make this. It looks like our number 2 runner here from Bel Air is trying to chase down.
Yeah, Garrett Osher, he's picking up the pace, and he's closing the gap between him and Noah Janigan for Patterson Mill. And as they come around this second turn for the first lap, we see Bel Air really closing that gap. We'll see if he makes his move on this straightaway, or if he's going to use that pace to cruise comfortably and make a move on the second lap.
So if this is their first lap and they both look like they're pushing it, body language says it's going to be hard for them to keep that pace.
You can
up.
always tell when their form starts to break down. And
Yes.
I'm watching their arms, they're not pumping as much. You can tell they're using everything that's in the tank, that's for sure.
I think this wind is making it really hard.
And it changes up. Part of the race, it's blowing in your face.
Right.
Its other part, it's blowing behind you, blowing at the side. Something that's pretty hard to gauge. A lot of people don't think about.
Tell you what, he's toughing this out. I mean, he took a tough pace, caught him, passed him, and he's pushing it.
Yeah, he's pushing. He's extending his lead now for Bel Air to about 10 meters with Patterson Mill behind. Coming up in third now, we have Falston that's starting to break away from that backpack, followed by Aberdeen. And coming up behind Aberdeen is Joppatown. And they're all starting to get a little spaced out right now. You see that sometimes with these longer races.
Oh, without a doubt. So one thing that I think about with all coaching, Tyler, is the combination of talent, fitness, and grit. And you see some athletes, like runners, who just have that smoothness and they are fast, and 85% of their success is their talent.
There's talent.
And then the other 15 is the other 2. You have other people that are only 50% as talented, but they have the heart and determination, and they do more than they're supposed to. I equally love both kind of athlete.
For sure, and they're both important. I like that word you use, right? Grit.
Yep.
There's nothing really pretty about leaving it all on the track.
Right.
And when it comes to it, the heart and grit can really make the difference in a race. And as we come around for this third leg, looks like Bel Air is still in a comfortable lead, but Patterson Mill, they're making some moves.
Yeah,
The gap
they're
is
thinking about
slowly closing.
Yeah, that's Chris Novak, and I was talking to one of the Patterson Mill coaches before, and I said, I recognize that name, and he said his dad was a track star too. So that's me showing my age and remembering people from way back and knowing the names.
The
So,
longer you're in the game, the more it comes full circle, doesn't it?
so this third leg is really crucial. Chris does not have to catch him completely, but he's trying to give his anchor a chance.
In a position to come back.
Yes. Now, nobody has been close enough, to your point, in either of these races to draft a lot on each other.
Right.
There was a moment there on the girls on a pass, and it only lasted about 100 yards. But, you know, when you're, you said it, part of the race, the wind's hitting you in the face, and part it's on your back. Well, you want to be behind somebody directly when it's in your face.
Bingo.
And let it hit them and go around you, and it makes your job easier. When it's on your back, you want it to hit you in the back, and you don't want somebody behind you taking that wind away from you. You we talked about Travis. His first year, and Travis turned out to be a very good runner. And his first time he did a race, I explained to him about drafting and not running in lane 2 or 3 on the turns when you pass. So he got done the race, he did a great job, and he goes, hey, I forget to do that drafting thing you talked about, and they're not running in lane 2 or 3. He said, I'll do it next time.
Next time. Yeah, there's some runners that they make the race harder on themselves. All right, and we're coming down to the final leg. I believe it still looks like Bel Air in first place. That's Colin Morelli coming around that first turn for the last leg. Still followed up by Patterson Mill.
So uniforms are hard to tell sometimes, but here's the thing. I like what the anchor from Bel Air did in Colin Morelli. When he got that baton, they did a very good quick exchange, with the pacing being, like I said, one coming in at 10 miles per hour, the other moving down at 8 miles per hour. There was no run up the back. There was no pulling away too far.
They look clean. They look clean.
And they broke away with a very good exchange. He took off because that's a psychological part again. He said, if I can make a 40-yard lead, a 50-yard lead, by the time that person gets their baton and looks at me, but he's also pushing the pace on purpose. We had that backwards. Patterson Mill is in first.
We got Patterson Mill with Dylan Nixon coming up there on their last lap here, followed by what looks like Bel Air.
And look who's coming to the party.
Falston is making a bit of a comeback. They have really closed the gap. I'd say they're about 10 meters behind for second.
He's gaining, and our leader is put his head down a couple times and looked like he was hurting a little bit.
But this is where that grit comes in, right? This is where the grit comes in. You see Falston making a move on Bel Air there. They're coming in second, and with enough speed, he may be able to catch Patterson Mill. That stride is long, and it is strong.
I think unless he burns himself out, he's going to do this, but we'll see.
Another thing is, at this last part of the race, you gotta have that awareness. Where are the other runners?
Yes.
When you're that far in the lead, it's easy to go on cruise control, and by the time you realize they're on your tail, it's too late. They have all the momentum, and we're gonna find out right now. Is Falston gonna be able to get in front of Patterson Mill? He's making his move on this last straightaway. They got about 50 meters left.
He's
extending it. Falston looks like they're gonna take this 4x8 Ray, followed by Patterson Mill. Bel Air in third.
That was Nicholas Spangler, folks. I would love to know his split.
Yeah, I would love to find that out too. Very nice job, Nicholas Spangler.
Now, one thing that we don't know is some teams, to your point, do psychological games, and they'll put their fastest person first and try to get, he
looks pumped. I'm sure he just hit a great time.
That is a memory he'll be telling his grandchildren about in 40 years.
One for the Bucks.
That's a good feeling right there. I mean, and you have that in 4x8s. I've coached teams where I had 4 girls who all ran a 240. I've had other years where I've had all boys that ran a 210, but then I had years where 2 of my runners ran 215 or 250, and the other ones were running 155 or 215. So you don't know if the one team has that 1 star. Well, guess what? Out of those 16 people, we just found the 1 star.
We did. Yep, yeah, and his name is Nicholas Spangler.
I'm gonna look ahead here, and we're gonna get ready to call the 100 hurdle heats as they're setting up. But I'm gonna look ahead here and see how Nicholas Spangler is rated. He is rated number 2 in the fast heat of the 800. So that makes sense. That was a great effort.
Also says he's quite the 3200 runner.
Wow, that's a great combination.
Yeah, he's got some versatility to him, right? It looks like
he's gonna hit that pillow good tonight. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, he should be proud. That was a great run.
Well, here we go, and as they're setting them up, I'm going to tell you the first heat of the girls 100 hurdles. And folks, in the hurdles, one of my favorite events, I love coaching this. The girls run 100, the boys run 110. The girls are one height, the boys is a higher height. Makes sense for length of body and leg length. So they stagger the lanes here. There's only 2 in a heat, but we only have 3 heats. So in heat 1, we're going to have Niana Core from Aberdeen, and we're going to have, in lane 3, we're going to have Tydings Ford from Joppatown. Tyler, this is such a skilled event. Like, my coach made me, I maybe got to 5'10" and 3/4 at my highest height, but when I started high school, I was like 5'4", and my coach took me over and he said, try the hurdles, Raymond. I'm like, it's up to my chest, coach, you know.
Yeah, I might have better luck going under the hurdle, coach. I'm right there with you at a staggering 5'8". I wasn't even tall as some of the hurdles.
So he had me do it, but I had to have much more flexibility than somebody taller. Now, we, excuse me, I actually coughed there. We have to have a difference here. You don't jump the hurdles, you hurdle the hurdles.
Bingo. There is a difference. You're not just jumping over it. There is a technique, there is form and skill and strategy that goes into it, about how you get that trail leg over it, how strong you lead leg gets over it. There's more than just running and jumping fast when it comes to hurdles.
So you'll see this as we do the races, folks, and I'm going to tell you, once we get to the hurdler, boys and girls, that is running through the hurdles like I'm talking about, and I'm not faulting the ones that sort of have to jump it because it's hard. But I always use this analogy with my runners. You can't run very fast when you're in the air. So you have
hard to run it all in the
yes.
air.
So you have to get that lead leg up and over the hurdle, and then you drive it down.
You attack the ground with
Yes.
that lead leg,
Yes.
Ray. You are 100% right.
So I know what I'm talking about with some things, Tyler.
It seems like you know what
Mostly-
you're talking about in a lot of things, Ray. Give
Mostly,
yourself some
mostly
credit.
sports. Don't ask me any world history or other stuff.
Don't worry, I won't. You could probably lie to me, though. I believe it.
So what you do is you lift your knee, and then your heel attacks towards the hurdle. So you'll actually see some people hit the top of the hurdle with their heel, but they're strong enough to still get over the hurdle. The hurdle might bounce or move, but they won't fall. If you catch your toe on the way up underneath the hurdle, you're on the ground.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
And that's not a good feeling, and I've done it, and my athletes have done it. You see the official waving the flag there. He's not surrendering, folks. He is telling us that he is getting ready to start this race. The people at the finish line, they also wave a white flag that says they're ready. So we start this first one. It looks like one of our runners is not there.
Yeah, it looks like Joppatown, Tydings Ford has dropped out of this race. So this is a different dynamic when it comes to running when you're by yourself. It's you versus you. I often think it's really hard to push yourself when you don't have anyone else. There's no pressure. There's no one there. But well done to Niana Core. She won her heat.
So you know, Tyler, some championship meets, they have qualifiers. She's laughing at herself. Some meets, you have qualifiers in the hurdles and 100, and you come back for final later.
Correct.
Today, for time-saving purposes and amount of runners, they're just going by the clock.
Okay.
So, as I said, top 6th place, there's only 7 entries in this event. So, one of them dropped out. All 6 of these girls are going to score for their team.
Congratulations to all 6 of those girls.
Yeah. So, and you know what? Congratulations to them also, because thank you for doing a tough event. I was talking to Tyler off air before about how I used to take my 100 dashers that thought they were good but not great and say, why don't we try hurdles? Why don't we try the 400? Why don't we try the long and triple jump? If you can apply decent speed to this event and you have coordination, you could become really good. So right here, I'll do this whole event. You can do the boys.
Sounds good.
Heat 2 in lane 1, we have Elsa Flack, and then we have Gracie Smith, and Elsa's from Patterson Mill. Gracie Smith from Joppatown, lane 3.
Something impressive I see, Elsa is a freshman, and
Yes.
she's the only freshman in this race today. So hats off to her.
I didn't say this. In the last race, Niana did what we call 4-step. You either do 3, 4, or 5. You don't want 5 because it's too much chopping in between the hurdles. You're almost stopping and hurdling. You want to keep your stride going.
Right.
So when you do 4 steps, you're alternating legs. So you go over the first hurdle with your left leg, the second hurdle with your right leg. And for medium height people, medium speed people, that's what they'll probably do. You don't want 5 steps. You're okay as a coach with 4 steps. Let's see how they get to this first block, this first hurdle. I'm using the wrong terms here, folks, so we'll talk about it in a minute. They came out of the blocks. Now, you also have a rule here you have to be careful about, and it has to be glaring for the officials to call it, but your foot is not supposed to go around the hurdle.
It needs to
It's
go
supposed to go over the hurdle. Good job for both girls.
And that's tough because, as you can see, sometimes they swing their leg
Yes.
to try and get that extra height, and it's got to go over the hurdles.
So our third heat and our fastest time seeds, we have, I don't know for sure to say this, Geit Derby from Bel Air in lane 1. We have Abby Lippert from Bel Air in lane 3. And we have Kayla Reynolds from Joppatown in lane 5. Very good seed times. So here's what I'm talking about here. 19s is a good time. 17s is outstanding. 16s is amazing.
Wow, yeah, I'm looking at that right now in lane 3, Abby Lippert at 16. That is very impressive. I'm pretty excited to see how this race goes.
So I want to see if one of these girls 3 steps. So that's where I'm going to tell you folks, it's an optical illusion. It looks like they're not going as fast, but they are. Because they're doing, it's kind of like a distance runner with a nice stride. Mm-hmm. The one with the shorter stride might look like they're moving their legs faster, but they're working harder to get that same distance.
Not covering as much ground with more energy.
So if any of these girls 3-step, they'll go over every hurdle with the same leg. Now, I will give them one caveat. If they 3-step the first 5 hurdles, but they have to switch to 4 steps in the last 3, that's still impressive.
Exactly.
Especially for the girls, if they're not as tall. Usually for the boys with the really long legs, yes, they can 3-step. I probably 7-step. My legs are so short, Tyler.
I'm right there with you, Ray. I wouldn't even be able to count. It'd be too many. It wouldn't be worth it.
We'll get to it later, but there used to be a guy named Edwin Moses way back in the old days of track and field for USA that was the world champion, Olympic champion many times over in the 400 hurdles. He had his steps between every hurdle on the longer distance exact. He was like a robot.
Thinking.
Yes. But he was like a robot, and these athletes, they can train themselves. Like we'll maybe get some shots later of the long and triple jump, but hitting that board at the right speed and the right time. So let's see how we come up here.
I'm seeing some 3-steps there, Ray.
Yeah.
Especially out of lane 3.
Got a good battle here between the girls from Bel Air. All it takes is hitting one hurdle. Good job. Doesn't surprise me with the Pickett's coaching Bel Air that they have good hurdlers. And very impressive job from the young lady at Joppatown also. We'll get the results later. We'll be able to tell you if we have any new best times or things like that. But that's the toughest race sprint-wise to do with this wind today.
Oh, 100%, 100%. You know, we were talking about how the wind blowing at you or blowing at your back. Either or when it comes to hurdles can affect you, you know, because like you said, getting your steps correct. If you have the wind at your back, you may be moving faster, can mess your steps up. In your face, that's going to make it that much harder to keep your same steps. So now we're getting to the boys. And the cool thing about the boys hurdle is it's actually 110 meters. So it's 10 meters longer than the girls hurdle sprint. And we got 4 heats today, and starting with heat number 1, we have Earl Phillips III in lane 1 from Joppatown, and we have David Lynn from Falston in lane 3. And as you see, they're adjusting the hurdles because they are a little higher for the boys. And if I am correct about this too, the 110-meter hurdles are the highest hurdles that are at the track meets because they are a little smaller for the 300 meters, which is fair. They got a lot longer to go.
And they get tired, yes. So what you see here, Tyler, is you know how sports have like team managers and stuff like that? So you have some managers in track and field who help with this kind of stuff, but it's also the other participants. So a coach, among all the other things they do, train these athletes, teach them how to do their events, motivate them, etc. They have to plan out a meet, and they have to say, okay, you 10 aren't running anything right before that, and you're not running it for 4 more events. You're the hurdle crew. And they send 2 or 3 of them at each spot, and they say, they show them how to do it. They do this every meet. So you got a combination of managers, athletes, and coaches out there changing these hurdles.
A lot of moving parts at a track meet. It is
Yes.
different than any other sport.
Hold on a second, Tyler. That's a good picture of our meet director and Aberdeen head coach, Josh. So appreciate everything he's done for us today. He's a jack of all trades today.
Jack of all, you gotta be in order to run a successful meet. Like we were just saying, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that go unsung that you don't think about, whether it's putting people in positions to get the meet ready, whether it's people working to make sure everything runs smoothly, or even people just checking the equipment to make sure that it's working well, whether it's the hurdles, the blocks, or anything and everything in between. A lot of moving parts that you have to worry about with a track meet. But right now, I think this track meet's running nice and smooth.
It
They seem
is.
to have done a great job.
This is your biggest delay, is changing the height of the hurdle. So I'm going to go through some coaches here while we have a break here. Aberdeen is coached by Joshua Rupert, Jamea McCluskey, Kirsten Bund, Charles Powell, Heather Kukera, and the principal and Mrs. Harris, and Tim Lindekamp is the AD. Aberdeen has had a lot of very successful track teams, Tyler. They had a guy way back before you were born named Irv Pankey, who played in, Google him, he played for the Rams in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
And he threw the shot put for Aberdeen. And you talk about something funny, like you would think every thrower was huge. Some of them are. There's different variations of huge. You got some guys that are like, they weigh 210, they're linemen. Here comes old Irv Pankey over there, seemed like he's 8 feet tall and all muscle and probably 280, 90.
Sounds like a football player.
It sounds so unfair.
All right, well, looks like we got our first heat of the men's 110. Again, that's Earl Phillips III in lane 1 with David Lynn in lane 3.
Now look at that. He's hitting hurdles and he's still got the lead.
He's making it over. Sometimes you can touch and hit the hurdles. If you're driving hard enough, it won't really slow you down. And it looks like Earl Phillips III from Joppatown finished first there. Very
Got a little
nice.
bit of pain on his face
Caught
there.
a stitch or something when he hit that last hurdle
Yeah.
when he was finishing up.
He was holding his left thigh there a little bit. Hope he's okay. And, it's hard to do, but you got to run through the line with all the speed you can because it's the watch.
Yeah.
So I see we have 10 people total here, so everybody is not placing. So, gentlemen, run against that clock.
So in Heat 2, it looks like we have Caleb Jedlicka from Falston. And in lane 3 for Heat 2 is Taekwon Billinger Bay from Joppatown.
It looks like Caleb's our only freshman in this race.
Yep, it's always good to see freshmen. It's always cool to know the young ones that are showing up early and trying to prove themselves.
So another coaching staff, Joppatown is coached by Erica Richardson. She's the girls' head coach. Josh Barmer is the boys' head coach. Michelle Watson, James Murray, and Desiree Foy are the assistant coaches. John Stefanidis is their AD, and Melissa Williams is their principal. Joppatown, near and dear to my heart. That's my school I graduated from. I just started an alumni association for them and trying to help do good things for the school. So we had our first golf outing Monday at Maryland Mountain Branch. Shout out to all the alumni, faculty, and friends of the school that came out to that event. It was a good day, good time. So, are you a golfer, Tyler?
I try to be. I golf. I don't know how well you could say I'm golf. You can ask your son. I've been with him a few times. I wouldn't say I'm a great golfer, but I do like for fun. So it looks like in
Somebody
Heat
dropped
2,
out again,
Taekwon Billinger Bay has dropped out, and we just have the freshman from Falston, Caleb Jedlicka, running on his own. And as we talked earlier, that can be tough. It can be tough running by yourself, especially when you're trying to race for the clock, and not everyone is guaranteed to move on from today's meet.
So stories can be how you want to tell them. So when he tells his grandchildren, my first high school championship race, I got first place.
Oh, I'd say the same thing. He won.
He doesn't have to tell the rest of the story.
No, you don't need to know you were running by yourself. I had a county championship meet when I was in high school, and this was back when I was still doing the 100. And I don't know how I lucked out like this. I was a freshman, just like Caleb was there, and 3 people dropped out. So
Right.
I won and I advanced to regionals. I probably could have done a cartwheel through the finish line, but I ran it hard, not hard enough to hurt myself, but ran it hard. But looks like for Heat 3, we have 3 runners. We have Gavin Post from Bel Air, Connor Sabert from Patterson Mill, and Jaden Ratcliffe from Falston.
This should be a good race. Look at that. Those times are bunched together very nicely.
Yeah, they're all within a second of each other, it looks like.
So here we go with the... Now watch how they come out of these blocks, Tyler. We hadn't had a chance to talk about the blocks and stuff. You can see the blocks there. You have 2 blocks for your front and back foot. Some people like to start with the right foot forward. Some people like to start with the left foot forward. You're supposed to drive out of the starting blocks as if you're going to fall flat on your face.
It's a controlled fall, Ray.
Yes.
It's a controlled fall.
Because you don't want to stand up right away, as otherwise, why did you use the blocks?
Exactly. You want to get low. You want to cut that resistance down, especially on a windy day like today.
Now, for the 100s that we have coming up next, you definitely want to do that. Some of my hurdlers wanted to push back on me a little bit, and that was a good practice run there by our hurdler from Patterson Mill there, Connor. My hurdlers would say, Coach, I feel like I'm going to run into the hurdle. I'm like, you won't. Just don't stand up in the first 2 or 3 steps. Drive out forward like you're falling forward. By the time you come to that first hurdle, you'll be upright enough to get over the hurdle, but that'll get you the most speed. Because guess what you can't do in hurdles, Tyler? You can't generate speed between the hurdles.
Makes sense. Like you said, it's hard to run in the air.
You can't run in the air, and there's only like whatever meters between.
There's not much space in between each one.
No.
You can't hit your full fast stride.
Your speed comes from your start.
Speaking of starting, all right, we have Heat 3 starting up now, and it looks like the Falston runner has dropped, so we only have 2 runners in this go-around. Looks like Connor from Patterson Mill is in the lead.
Oh, we might have a comeback here.
Yeah, Bel Air's right on his neck. He's going to come down to this final straightaway, and Patterson Mill takes that heat. Good job to Connor.
So if I'm counting right, we've had at least 2 drop out now of the 10.
Heat 1 and Heat 3 both had 1 dropout.
So for the 4th heat, we have Malik Adelani from Patterson Mill in lane 1. We have Cole Pollock from Joplin in lane 2. And we have Jackson Vaughn from Bel Air in lane 5. Some very good times here. We have 2 times in the seedings of 16.54 for Malik. We have a 16.99 for Jackson, and Cole has a time of 15.74.
So 2 sub-17s and a sub-16. So it looks like
Yeah.
we're going to see some speed on the track now.
So this is where we might see, and by the way, that last race, the difference was, I would say our winner, Connor, got out to the better start.
Much better start, and that made the difference there
Right.
because, like you said, at the end, that race was really close. That runner from Bel Air was starting to close the gap there, Gavin, right at the end, and for a few more meters, he may have been able to do it.
And Gavin was 3-stepping a lot of it, so he had a smooth race once he got over the first hurdle. Connor showed a little grit there at the end because you could feel the person coming on your shoulder, and he just, dug it out at the end there. And to both their credit, they both sprinted across the line.
That drive through the blocks may have made the difference in the beginning in that last heat.
Now let's see what this start looks like. And you have people behind them waiting for the 100, and often you have somebody that stands on your block for you.
Yep, because when you push out of those blocks, you kick them back.
Look at that form.
So it looks like Cole Pollock from Joppatown is taking a strong start in the lead. He's been clean all throughout the whole race, and he will finish with a good distance between him and Malik from Patterson Mill and Jackson from Bel Air.
And you know what? So deceiving about that? Those 2 other young men ran outstanding.
Oh, yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what it's like to run against somebody that's amazing.
Yep, and so you can see here, Cole has run sub-16 before, so nothing against Malik and Jackson. Like you said, they had great races. They looked fast, but Cole Pollock from Joppatown,
He's somebody to be reckoned with for regionals and states.
He's going to be, especially if he continues to run like that. Very well done for our men's 110-meter hurdles. And now, we're going to get ready for pure speed with the 100-meter dash.
So pure speed is indoor track, the 50 or 60.
Was it 55?
It depends. I've done them all. I've done 50, 55, and 60.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is where you have the people that have that pure starting start.
They got that acceleration.
Yes.
That's all the race is. You can get out fast. You're already halfway through the race
Right.
by the time you start.
So I want to explain something to our fans here before we name the first heat. This isn't somebody picking up speed in the last 40 and 100. It's an optical illusion. It's the people that aren't slowing down as much.
Maintaining that top speed. You don't really have time to pick it up.
Right.
You go.
Yes.
You go, and you're right. It's the ones that are slowing down. It makes it look like the leaders are speeding up, but no, like you said, it's actually quite the difference.
So I'll get this first heat here. We have Tamara Gomez in lane 1 from Aberdeen. We have Amber Shulman from Falston in lane 2. We have Dolapo Omoyeni from Falston in lane 3. We have Chloe Cooper from Falston in lane 4. So we have a big Falston against...
Falston heavy heat, it looks like. They got a lot of representation here in Heat 1.
So you hit the nail on the head. This is the speed event. Good start. Looks like two of our four dropped.
Two Falston runners have dropped out. We got Tamara Gomez from Aberdeen in the front, and followed by Amber Schumann from Falston. So not quite as much representation of Falston as we thought.
Yeah. So Heat 2, we have Ashiana Graves from Patterson Mill, freshman. And we have lane 2, Kennedy Johnson from Bel Air. Azaria Butler in lane 3 from Aberdeen. Kayla Podier Greer from Bel Air in lane 4. And Morgan Holly in lane 5 from Joppatown. Look at these times. I mean, it's separated from a 13.94 to a 14.64. We're only talking 7/10 of a second.
Barely over half a second, you're right.
I mean, that is a job for the finish line. I don't know if we have the electronic equipment here that is going across the line that you'll see at States that tells you exactly who finished, or we have what we call spotters. It's somebody's job to designate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's different ways to do the timers, but usually they're timing a person.
Individual, yes. That's the most accurate way to do it. Because how are you going to pull 5 timers at the same time if they're all 0.1 second away from each other? And that's a tough job, a job I do not envy.
No, and if the person makes a split-second difference when they're watching, you start slightly sooner than I do, and I end slightly sooner than you do, we don't want that to take away the real place the kid got. So that's what the person at the finish line is spotting, so they can verify 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, and we're off. Looks like a very strong start from our middle 2 lanes.
Looks like lane 4 might pull that out.
Kayla from Bel Air.
Well, we said it would be close, and it was close. Now, how do you coach? You don't want to coach harshly. If somebody stood up in the blocks too soon, you don't want to put them down right when they finish an event, because they kind of know they didn't do something right. So I always went to my athletes and I say, what do you think you did right, and what do you think you could do better?
It's a great self-reflection question, right? That is top-notch coaching question right there.
But my wife does that to me too, and I don't like that. I'm like,
well, it's different in that aspect, man, and I'll give you some leniency here. My wife gives me some of those tough questions too, and I don't always know the answer. It makes me think really hard.
But usually it's like, what do you think you did wrong, and what do you think you did wrong? For me. So Heat 4, the last heat here for the girls, and this has got some real speed here. Everybody under 14 and one under that. So we have Mahogany Shirt from Joppatown in lane 1. We have Avery Marie Bowens from Joppatown in lane 2. We have Jordan Robinson from Patterson Mill in lane 3. We have Christian Dodd from Aberdeen in lane 4. And we have Leah King in lane 5 from Bel Air. We have 2 freshmen in the fastest heat.
I was just looking at that, Ray. That's really interesting. 2 freshmen here in heat number 3. And if I'm looking at their times, they're going to be super competitive with these upperclassmen they're running against.
You see them jumping before they get ready, folks. You see them doing leg lifts, all kind of knee ups.
Getting that explosive, fast twitch muscle fibers, getting them ready.
Now let's look at this race here, Tyler, since it's our last girl sprint. let's see who we think gets out of the blocks fastest, and let's see who we think maintains their speed the best. Because in that last race,
Oh, we may have had a false start there, Ray, I believe from
Yes.
Bel Air. That's not a good way to start your race.
no, and what I don't know today, and I should have clarified, but the officials weren't here yet when I was talking to the coaches, is some of them you get a do-over, and some of them you
It's
don't.
one and done. Yeah, so I'm not sure about today either. I do know championship meets typically is a one and done.
Right. We'll see if she gets back in the blocks or not. And I feel very bad for her because, you know, you're trying to gauge the start. You're trying to react to it. So whether it's track or swimming. So now I just heard the official say 5's out, but she's looking like she's trying to find out, and I think they have to go tell her.
Oh, that's tough, Ray.
Yeah.
That's a tough feeling. And the gun's always distance. You can listen to the same gun person over and over, and even if they're a split second behind when they shoot that gun, that's enough. If you try and jump it and guess it, it can make or break you.
It sounds to me like he's looking for clarification.
Glad we're not the only ones.
Yes. So we'll learn from it right now. Now, the other 4 girls, they're trying to keep themselves mentally ready.
Right, because that also messes with them,
Yes.
you know, especially if some of them just got off to a great start.
Right.
Oh, a wasted great start. Looks like
Looks like
Bel
they told
Air
her she's
is
out.
out. So this is a one and done championship meet, making way more pressure on that start. You have to be absolutely certain you hear that gun before you go.
Now, it's very important now that a coach or teammates pick that young lady up.
100%, because she might have other races. You don't want this to mentally bring someone down. You know, you gotta let them know there will be other races. There's gonna be your time to shine. Many people make this mistake. Don't let it eat at you. You're gonna be able to come back and you make up for it in a different race.
I fell as an anchor in a huge indoor invitational and lost the race, hitting a wet spot on the floor. My coach still allowed me to do the rest of the season.
That's good.
And that's what you need. You need your coaches to give you another chance. Hey, I've false started before.
We've all been there.
Yep.
All right, so it looks like I would say lane 1 from Joppatown and Patterson Mill got really good start, and now Patterson Mill is just absolutely cooking. That's Jordan Robinson, and she is the senior from Patterson Mill, and I would say she won that race by at least 5 to 10 meters.
Yeah,
she
that was
really had
impressive.
some speed there. Well done.
So the UCBAC Championships will be in a few weeks. I think there's one more regular season meet for each team, and then they have the UCBAC Championships. That young lady is going to be a contender for that. That's all 15
absolutely.
teams.
Absolutely. Now we're moving on to the men's. And for the boys 100 meter, boys 100 meter dash, for heat 1, we got Brinsley McNish from Bel Air. We have Rufus Bradley, also from Bel Air. Stephen Giddens from Aberdeen. And Bryson Gibson from Falston. And we also have 2 freshmen in this heat as well. So no seniors either. Very interesting. And all these runners, as I look at their times, all within less than a second from each other, all 12s. So this should be an interesting race.
And I'm going to tell people right now, not everybody has access to these seed times like we do. You're going to be seeing people running in the fast heat in the 11s. Every once in a while in high school, you'll see people in the 10s. 12 is still fast.
It is fast.
I mean, it's like, think of percentiles. We all did the physical fitness things in gym class, phys ed class in school. And most people in the world, if they would try to do 100 dash, they're running 15, 16,
oh my gosh,
17,
yeah,
18
they're only
seconds.
hitting 12 if they're going downhill.
Yes.
We forget that, you know, we're so used to seeing these times that these are some of the best at
Right.
their age.
Right. And this is technically, because there's so many championship meets coming up, like only mid-season for track and field. And we still go till the 3rd week of May. There we go.
Looks like Aberdeen is coming in hot. That would be Stephen Giddens.
Yes.
And looks like he got the win there. Very nice job.
So in Heat 2, we have Evan Chacona from Falston in lane 1. We have Chamonte Roberts from Patterson Mill in lane 2. We have Uban Gabasi Archibong from Falston in lane 3. We have Tayon Williams from Aberdeen in lane 4, and we have Ian Battle from Aberdeen in lane 5.
And this is another close one with none of the runners clocking in at a time more than 0.2 and a half ahead of each other. So it looks like we got another really exciting race
And
coming
these runners, somebody here is going to get into the top 6 and score for their team.
Yep.
So these little slight differences of a slightly faster start compared to a slightly faster hanging on at the end. We didn't talk about this yet. In the close races, you have the lean. So it's your torso that comes across the line. Whoever's torso comes across the line first is the winner. It's not like if you saw the speed skating in the Winter Olympics where they jut their foot out. It's your torso. So you don't want to lean too late. You don't want to lean too soon. You don't want the lean to break your momentum. It's kind of like the argument in why do people slide into first base head first? You're technically faster if you run through the base. So in this, keep all your momentum going through that line. You only want to do a lean if you're like literally side by side with a runner.
Exactly. You don't want to lose your momentum. You don't want to lose your control and your balance. And, you know, one thing that you usually don't see, and my coach always told me never do that, are people trying to dive through the line. Because believe it or not, you actually lose speed. Because we said it, you can't pick up speed in the air.
Yep.
So a good lean is a skill that you will see the best 100-meter dashers perfect. And it looks like we have Aberdeen in front again. That's Tavon Williams. Very nice job.
So we only have one more heat here, Tyler. I'll let you get this one.
All right, so for Heat 3, we have Jaden Holly in lane 1 from Joppatown. In Patterson Mill, we have Drew Nurse Ringgold in lane 2. From Joppatown, we have Malik Garrison in lane 3. Also from Joppatown is D'Artagnan Blakeney. And in lane 5 from Bel Air is Josiah Drafts. And if these results are anything to be based off of, we are also in for another very close race.
Yeah, this should be who we get our champion from for this. Though that last young man really was cooking.
He may have a chance to pass and place ahead some of the people from this last heat, and that's important. We talk about the mentality. A lot of people, they see, oh, I'm in Heat 1, I'm in Heat 2. There's no way, you know, I'll be able to hang with the big dogs from the later heats. You never know. That's why every heat, whether you're in Heat 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, you want to give your best because you just never know.
So after this heat, folks, before we start the mile, I'm going to try to catch up with a couple events results and see if we can sneak them in, and then we'll set up our girls 1600, and then while that's rolling, I'll try to catch us up on the rest of our results. Because especially in these sprints, Tyler, we don't really know if somebody from the second fastest heat, to your point, might have snuck up to second or third place. And, you know, that's why you run through the line there, folks. Did you space your feet out further, or were they tight on your blocks?
So my coach always had me do 1 step for my left foot, my drive foot, and 2 steps for my right foot.
So
and we're watching right now. It looks like it's a close one between Joppatown and Patterson Mill.
I think Joppatown edged him out, but I'm not sure. It was like literally.
It was that lean may have made all the difference there, and it looked like Malik Garrison from Joppatown was able to hold off Drew Nurse Ringgold from Patterson Mill, but we're going to go to the replay.
This. Oh, he was coming on strong. I think he's still ahead, but
I think he's still ahead if our cameras are correct.
Oh, I'm not sure anymore.
Oh, man.
Oh, we're gonna have to wait for the results for that one, folks.
Yeah, this was photo finish to the last spec.
Wow. So real quick here, I'm gonna do a couple events here. The girls pole vault from yesterday at Bel Air. 6th place was Jillian Varga from Falston. 5th place from I'm seeing here, oh yes, Falston. Leanne Daxon from Falston, 5th. 4th place, Eden Newcork with a jump of 7 feet from Falston. Third place, Riley Lanahan, 8 feet from Patterson Mill. Second place, 8 feet, McKenna Page from Bel Air. And first place, 8 feet, Savannah Horseman from Patterson Mill. You may think first, second, and third had the same height. It's like the high jump. If I make it on the first attempt over 8 feet, but you make it on the second attempt, I made it in a sooner. It's a tiebreaker.
So that's the tiebreaker when it comes to
Yes.
the field events.
And if we made that last height on the same attempt, say our third try, because you get 3 tries at a height, but going back to 7.6, I made it 1 jump before you. That determines that I'm ahead of you.
See, that's a lot of stuff that people don't know about the field events, and they don't know about the tiebreakers of that. So that's an interesting thing to bring up, Ray. I'm glad you did.
So crossing for the sprints, again, I want to reiterate that for every event, it's your torso. It is your chest is the determinant of who won. So Tyler's feet can beat me, but if he's leaning back and I'm leaning forward, if his toe crossed the line before me, but my chest crossed the line before him, that was a difference. So let me see if I can find one of my favorite events, the high jump. The girls, Cadence Ford from Joppatown got 5th place with 3.8. 4th place, Jennifer Phillips, 4 feet from Falston. 3rd place, Avery Marie Bowens with 4.2 from Joppatown. And 2nd place, Tiana Jones from Joppatown with 4.4. And then Elizabeth Arlington from Falston, 1st place with 5 feet. I will tell you, folks, these pole vault and high jump heights aren't as high as they normally were. They said it was windy yesterday, too. And that had to affect that event. I cannot imagine doing that.
I'm sure it affected it a lot.
So they're pulling the runners out here on the line here, and you see the officials lining them up. So before I do any more events, Tyler, why don't you read our girls' 1,600 meter runners?
All right, so for the girls, 1,600 meter run. In lane 1, we have Aubrey Edwards from Bel Air. Lane 2, Vivian Farmer, Patterson Mill. Lane 3, Gabriella Murphy, Falston. 4, Carly Lindhoff, Patterson Mill. 5, Avery Alliger, Bel Air. 6, Leah Richard, Falston. 7, Madeline Duracet, Bel Air. 8, Gianna Sabatini, Patterson Mill. 9, Kayla McNichols, Aberdeen. 10, Myra Whitley, Falston. 11, Evelyn Smith, Aberdeen. And 12, Faith Manzanares, also Aberdeen. And one interesting thing about the 1,600 meter run is that they do what's called a waterfall start. So getting out strong and holding your own in this beginning can really help you, put you in a place to be effective at this race.
So you want to break in soon enough to get your spot, but not so much that you're cutting somebody off.
Right, you don't want to get tripped up because that will restart the whole race if everyone's falling down in the beginning.
I'm a huge track and field fan, Tyler, participating, coaching. I actually watch track and field meets on TV. If you have like the Milrose Games or something comes on TV, or the college national championships, indoor or outdoor, I love watching it. It's probably in my top 2 for Olympic summer, along with swimming. Doesn't hurt that USA does really well in both.
Always
but
helps.
You'll see people, and it even happened in the 2024 Olympics where contenders fell.
Yeah.
In that scrum, because watch how closely their feet, the other person's back kick, is coming up near your stride out.
So easy to end up getting kicked in the shin or knee, getting your feet tangled. And, you know, you see this with some of the really competitive races. They're not exactly throwing bows, but they're not giving you any wiggle room if you're trying to go around them.
Now, folks, I got to do a little disclaimer for Tyler and I. We don't have numbers like you have at a soccer or football or lacrosse game. We can see the seeds, so I'm going to guess that that's Aubrey Edwards out in the front because she's the number 1 seed and she started on the inside lane. On the outside in the Falston uniform right there, she doesn't really want to run out there, but she's got people on the inside, so she's going to have to decide. That's Gabriella Murphy. You don't want to run in lane 3 or 4 on the turns like we talked about before. So she's got to settle in there in like the outside of lane 1. And then she's got to decide, do I want to pass this second and third place girl and fall in behind Aubrey? You know, there's all these strategies here. I mean, you got a seed time of 5:52 for Aubrey. Vivian Farmer from Patterson Mills at 5:55. Gabrielle Murphy has a 6:07. Patterson Mills, Carly Lenhoff has a 6:07. So your top 4 times, 2 of them are really close, and then the other 2 are really close. This is where that drafting might come in too.
Yeah, you talked about that earlier. Positioning yourself in these races, especially at this distance, can make the difference between the resistance hitting you, making you run harder, or getting able to coast behind someone to block that resistance and making it that much easier during this long race.
So I'm going to do the boys 100 hurdle places, top 6. Caleb Jedlicka from Falston, 9th grader, got 6th place with an 18.9. Gavin Post from Bel Air got 5th place with an 18.8. Connor Siebert from Patterson Mill got 4th with an 18.4. Jackson Vaughn from Bel Air, 3rd with a 16.8. Malik Adelani from Patterson Mill, 16.6. And Cole Polick from Joptown, 15.4. Outstanding job to all of them. Let me get the girls' 100 hurdles out of the way here. In 6th place, we have Gracie Smith, Joptown. 5th place, Niana Kaur from Aberdeen. 4th place, Elsa Flack from Patterson Mill. 3rd place, Kayla Reynolds from Joptown. 6th, Gait Derby from Bel Air. And 1st place with a time of 17 flat from Bel Air, Abby Lippert. So we're here on our 2nd lap, Tyler, or is this our 3rd lap?
So we just finished up lap number 2. We're about almost halfway through lap 3. We still have Aubrey Edwards from Bel Air there in front, followed by both of our number 2 and number 4 Patterson Mill runners. I believe that's Vivian Farmer and Carly Lenhoff sticking by. And you see right now, one of the Patterson Mill, they're making their move on the turn. It's an interesting strategy. It's often harder and requires more energy to pass on a turn as opposed to passing on a straightaway. So let's see how this plays out. We have Patterson Mill in the lead now. They're sandwiching Bel Air, which is in 2nd, with 3rd place also Patterson Mill.
So I will tell you, I tell my athletes, you only pass on a turn if you're feeling really strong. So if you feel like, okay, that person's running, 10 miles per hour and I'm running 14 miles per hour.
They're slowing you up too much, I guess.
Yes,
go around.
just go around, but you got to know you can do it. Now, you can sort of read the person in front of you. So I don't know if that's our top seed here, Aubrey, or if that's, no, that Patterson Mill is leading, right?
Yeah, so
that's
Patterson
Vivian.
Mill's taking a pretty decent lead now. So I think you were right there, Ray. She knew that she had the juice left in the tank, and she made that turn, and she hasn't looked back since. In fact, she's spread her distance out to almost, I would say, close to 30 meters. Patterson Mill has also taken 2nd place. There's a battle there going between 2nd and 3rd with Patterson Mill and Bel Air. But Patterson Mill, I believe that's Vivian Farmer, she is opening up that stride, and she looks like she's going even faster now. She could end up winning this race by maybe 50 meters, Ray. And
Yeah,
she
she
is
looks
looking
strong.
good. So I guess passing on that turn did not affect her. She had the strength, she had the speed, and she had the gas left in the tank to make this a pretty dominating and clear victory there for Patterson Mill.
I don't know these things like you do, but who's a good sunglass company? Because I think they sponsor Patterson Mill.
Oh man, right, you can tell they all got sunglasses on. I don't know if that's Ray-Ban, Oakley, or maybe the coach has been nice and rewarded all them with sunglasses. I'm not sure, but Patterson Mill looks like they're going to take 1st and 2nd. Bel Air is hanging on there, the 3rd,
Like
with
Aubrey.
Falston bringing up what looks like 4th and 5th.
that's
Oh, maybe
Gabriella.
not 5th. Patterson Mill's coming to take that 5th place finish.
Oh, no, look, she
now they're
fought back.
battling back. I think
Good
Falston
job.
got that for 5th with Bel Air for
Hey,
6th.
that's a difference of a point, from 2 points to 1 point.
That is.
So that matters.
That was very important. While they weren't the 1st place finisher, they just secured their team 1 more point.
just good job for the rest of the team. Girls coming in here.
Looks like a lot of strong finishes here at the end of this race.
Most of the girls held their seed, except I will say kudos to Patterson Mill. Vivian moved up a spot, and she had to have dropped time. I mean, that was outstanding.
Yeah, she was strong throughout her whole race, too, especially that last lap. She didn't turn back. Once she passed for first, it was all said and done at that point because that lead just kept getting further and further.
So while they're lining up the boys here, and we'll call their names in a second, I'm going to, okay, watch this replay right here first. Look at that fight back. So I'm very impressed by both girls. The young lady from Patterson Mill passed her, and the young lady from Falston could have just given up, but she said, nope, I'm fighting, and she held her off.
Hit that second gear when she needed to the most.
So
I think Falston's going to get this.
In the 110 hurdle, boys, Caleb, no, I already called that one, didn't I?
I believe so.
Yes, I did. So I think it's the girls I need to call for the sprints. So I'm going to go back here to the girls' 100-yard dash because I don't think I called that one, but correct me if I do. I think did I call this one, Tyler? Kayla Podier-Greer? No, I did not.
No.
In sixth place from Bel Air. Fifth place, Christian Dodd from Aberdeen. Fourth place, Mahogany Sherd from Choptown. Third place, Tamira Gomez from Aberdeen. Fourth place, Avery Marie Bowens from Choptown. And in first place with a time of 12:07, Jordan Robinson from Patterson Mill. And if I do accidentally call something twice, well then, you know what? They got to hear their name called twice.
So nice you said it twice, Ray. So nice you said it twice. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to read the names off for our boys' 1,600-meter race. First, we have Nolan Murphy from Bel Air. Number 2, Nicholas Spangler, Falston. 3, Andrew Burstein, Bel Air. 4, Charles Taylor, Bel Air. 5, Noah Janigan, Patterson Mill. 6, Javier Torres, Aberdeen. 7, Benjamin Tyndall, Aberdeen. 8, Joshua Detzel, Patterson Mill. 9, Caden Miller, Falston. 10, Dylan Nixon, Patterson Mill. 11, Tanner Driscoll, Falston. 12, Esdras Casola, Choptown. And 13, Timothy McHenry, Aberdeen.
So we seem like we're overstressing this, folks, but we're both impressed by this. Freshman girls doing well is pretty good, but girls mature sooner, and the freshman girls, talent-wise and strength-wise, are closer to a senior girl. But for the boys, this young man, Nolan Murphy from Bel Air, is a freshman, and he's the #1 seed.
#1 seed as a freshman's incredible.
I mean, in swimming, we see the difference between the junior, senior boys and the freshman boys as night and day in terms of size and strength.
Yeah.
And for him to be running a 4:35 as a freshman,
very impressive.
Now I'm going to go through the last thing I don't think I called, but if I did I call the girls 100 hurdles? I think I might have. Gracie Smith in 6th from Choptown, Deanna Core from Aberdeen, 5th, Elsa Flack, 4th from Patterson Mill, Kayla Reynolds, Geit Derby, 2nd from Bel Air, and Abby Lippert. So I think I'm up to date on the event so far. We already said the 4x8 winners because that was clear. So I think we're caught up. But what will be trickling in here, Tyler, once in a while is field events. So I will try to update you folks on the field events as they come in. The way the field events work, Tyler, is generally they start with, say, the girls' long jump, and then they do the boys' long jump. Then they do the girls' triple jump, then the boys' triple jump. So from my years of experience of being a triple jumper and being a coach, often at the end of a championship meet, everybody is going home and packing up their bags, and the triple jumpers are still out there finishing.
They're still going. And if you have a great triple jumper on your team, you might be waiting there for them to finish as well.
For the team results.
Bingo.
We've had many a time where we've been at meets, and I mean, I only scored us like 1 point, but because I would get like 6 in the triple jump at
That's
counties.
a point on the table.
But we would be there, and I remember as a coach, like telling my dedicated runners who were there to cheer for their teammate, be there, but don't make them feel pressure. Like, you know, I've had many. Oh, and then even the last running event, the 4x4. I love how the meat comes down to the 4x4, which is also a grueling event.
Oh, yeah.
And I have seen teams go from first to third and fourth to first because of what they did in the 4x4. And that's where the coaching strategy comes in. You got to make sure you balance you get more points out of a person if they're in 4 individual events. But let's just say you can get first in 4 events, then I'm putting you in 4 events. But if I can only get 6 in my 4th event, which is only 1 point, but me being on a relay is going to move us up 3 or 4 spots,
Worth more points.
then I do the relay.
And that's just good coaching strategy,
Yes.
you know?
So I tried the pole vault. You were talking about a guy that your coach sent over. My coach said, Ruse, go try the triple jump. Okay. Ruse, go try this. I could high jump, but at 4'10" and a quarter, or 4'6", 4'8" at the time, I wasn't made for that. Is this a final that they didn't tell us about?
It's not on the sheet.
They told us they were not doing finals, but they must be.
So I believe then that looks like Drew Nurse Ringgold from Patterson Mill got the victory there. No, I'm sorry. Malik Garrison from Joppatown looks like he took first place in the finals, the 100. And yes, we apologize. We were not up to date that there would be a men's finals
we
for
were
the 100
told
meter
that
dash.
there was going to be just the times for the prelims, which I kind of thought sounded strange at first because there always is a final.
Right.
So the names that I gave you before, and we apologize, folks, so those results I read out were the prelims for those sprints. So they'll be updating the results to show these final heats. So if that's the case, we're going to have a girls' 100 final coming up now. So I'm going to decipher that what they meant was maybe the hurdles they weren't going to run a finals.
Yeah, and that might be the case because it didn't look like we had many hurdlers today. So I guess they assumed there was no need to have a finals for them.
Right. Because they jumped that in there after the girls 1600
meter, yeah.
And now they're jumping in they're not lining them up yet, so maybe they have, if we can see the starting block of the 100 area, folks, we're going to see if they're setting up some girls for a sprint final. Okay, they are doing the boys 1600 meter, so we'll have to find out later why they ran another sprint of the boys. The only thing I can think is when I did the meet last year, 2 years ago, they had some JV entries.
Okay.
And they just had a JV race here or there, so that could have been a JV race, but I'm not positive.
Well, this boys 1600 meters should be interesting, Ray. We have our top 3 all within 5 seconds of each other. Then there's a bit of a separation, but the 4th and 5th are within 1 second of each other. So I think we are in store for a very, very close race. And Nicholas Spangler earlier on that relay, he really showed off what he can do. So it's going to be, I think, pretty exciting and pretty cool to see him and that freshman from Bel Air, Nolan Murphy, see what they got during this mile run.
So back when I ran, we didn't have meter races, we had yard races.
Oh, geez, that must have been
quite
a long time ago.
And we ran in bare feet, and the race was uphill the whole way.
Did you run against Fred Flintstone? Who were you racing against, Ray?
That's how we rode our cars. So I don't have the nerve to tell Travis now that maybe my time that was faster than his was because I ran a shorter distance. Let's not tell him that, okay?
That's not. He doesn't need to know that. All right, that'll be our secret, right? Okay.
So I think you'll see more strategy in this race, like that first front pack, like you said. Those three look like they're going out together. And sometimes when you have teammates, they can work together against an individual.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like NASCAR when you have teammates in the same race. One will make it tougher for the other person to pass. If they know that their person in first is, has a chance to win the race, they might do all they can to make life really harder than it needs to be for someone on the other team trying to get by.
So you see right here that the Bel Air runners are first and then on the outside of Nicholas Spangler.
And they're going to make him have to work on the outside if they want to get by them.
Yes, so he's going to have to slow down and go around. But to Nicholas's credit, he's drafting off of Nolan right now.
And, yep, they all look pretty strong. I'm not seeing any form breaks. Just finishing up lap 1.
Bel Air could go 3 runners in the top 4 here. They could score a lot of points for the team competition.
Yeah, if these placements stay the way they are, Bel Air would have many finishers in the top 5 here for the 1600 meter.
So I used to teach my kids how to legally box somebody, in. And a lot of the distance coaches know how to do that. But you got to watch out because you don't want to do the work of boxing somebody in, but that means you ran 8 turns in lane 2. Because that's an extra
made it harder on yourself.
meters per turn. So 6 times 4, that's 24 extra meters you're running. Yeah, this race, all credit to these young men and ladies that can run this mile in this weather and this wind.
Right, running isn't hard enough. Then you put the heat and the wind on top of that. You got to fight Mother Nature. You got to fight yourself, and obviously you are fighting for a better position against the other teams.
Another part of coaching is you have to tell your athletes when to drink, when not to drink, how much to drink, what to eat, what not to eat. Because you can't be a young man or young woman running the mile and the 800 and the 4x8 and then down a whole sandwich and 4 snacks and 2 drinks.
Yeah, that eventually will come back to haunt you in one way or another. And also, like, what you're eating. You don't want to get ready for your mile run with milk and cookies.
Right,
Maybe a sip of water and something very light. But you also, like you said, you got to know when to eat it. You better not be snacking as you're getting onto that starting line.
And stay under the tarps. Don't let the direct sun be beating down on you for hours.
Draining energy. One thing, especially me being very fair-skinned with 1,000 freckles, my coach basically made me live under an umbrella during track meets, or I'd have so much SPF on me. Looks like Nicholas Spangler from Falston has found a way to break through the Bel Air wall there. He's now coming in first place. I believe we are coming down to our last lap here. He's followed by Nolan Murphy and Andrew Burstein from Bel Air.
So Nicholas was our star anchor runner from the 4x8. Brought his team from like 3rd or 4th all the way back to 1st.
With that glide of a stride he had.
So if he can take this race and be competitive in his last 2, he'll be one of the stars of the meet. In my mind, he's already one of the stars of the meet.
I have a feeling we're going to hear his name a lot. But Nolan Murphy, the freshman from Bel Air, is staying right with him. I'm watching their strides. They're still long. They're still strong. And they're going to be coming down for about 220 meters left to go, maybe a little less. And we got Nolan Murphy from Bel Air starting to make a move on that turn. And like you said, if you're going to pass on the turn, you better have plenty left on the tank to keep going. So it's going to be very interesting to see this last 100 meters between Nolan Murphy and Nicholas Spangler. They're coming down the straightaway.
Excellent effort on both of them.
And you can hear in the crowd, don't look back. That'll cause you to slow up. But it looks like Nolan Murphy from Bel Air had enough in the tank to hold off the first place finish, followed by Nicholas Spangler from Falston and Andrew Burstein, also from Bel Air. So it looks like Bel Air cleaned up a lot of points there in the boys' 1600 meter.
You're talking about a young man who could get into the 520s by the time he's a senior or lower. That's outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even. Oh, looks like Falston's going to overtake here.
Oh, wow.
Finish right here. Yep, just came by. I don't think I could ride a bike for a mile, a 1600 that fast right now.
Maybe not even an exercise bike, let alone a real one.
So, when's the last time you ran any kind of race? You're a middle distance sprinter, so you're probably not a 5K guy or anything like that.
No, I'd signed up for a few different things, like the color run when I was a little bit younger, and I got that itch to run, you know, somewhat competitively. But Ray, I'd be lying to you if I could tell you an actual amount of time since it's been. Like I said, I just run my mouth a lot these days.
I love it when somebody as young as you says, when I was younger.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I don't want anybody to time me from getting from my reclining chair to the kitchen. So, you know, I'm 62 here. So one of my favorite events coming up here, Tyler, is the 4x200 relay. And I have to make sure they're not throwing a girl sprint in here, but the 4x2, you've run this many times, I've run this many times. There's two ways you can do it. One way is the first two legs stay in their lane, and on the second to third runner exchange, the third runner can cut in.
Break in.
And then when they get done their 150, 160, they got to start looking for where their next person is on the last turn, and there's a coach over there, official, who are lining the people up being like, okay, Falston's in lane in first place, move into lane one. The other way that seems more current is run your lane for all four legs. It's a 2-lap stagger. So everybody's running a half of a lap. Why am I bringing this up? Because depending on the difference, the strategy matters.
Absolutely.
So when I ran in that 4x2 that I fell in, my teammates laughed at me. Then they picked me up and said, don't worry about it. My coach said, don't worry about it. You'll do it again.
Keep that mental going, right?
Yes.
Keep you mentally strong.
Our star should have been anchor in a normal race. But as you know, for indoor track, so much turn. And you think it's hard to pass on a 400-meter track. It's really hard to pass on a 200 to 150-meter lap.
I believe that.
So he put our star first. He got a lead. I forget which of my friends was second. He maintained the lead. When we handed off and you received in your lane, but then you can cut in the lane one, we were free and clear running in open space.
One less thing to worry about.
And the other teams were jostling with each other.
Fighting each other, slowing each other up.
Yes, and trying not to mess each other up for handoffs or cutting in too tight on a turn. So I give my credit, Mr. Bishop, full credit for that. He was so smart, because I'm looking at him going, Mr. Bishop, I'm not the fastest. It's okay. I'm not the second fastest. It's okay. You're third or fourth fastest, but you're going to have a lead, and you're going to run scared. And you know what? I ran scared.
Sometimes running scared is a good thing.
Yes.
Makes you go a little faster, puts that pep in your step. You know, there's a certain amount of pressure that's helpful, as long as you don't cross that line to where the pressure starts to mess with you mentally. Sounds like Mr. Bishop had a good plan, though.
Yes, and it was very smart, and coaching does come into it. So I'll be interested to see whether this is a 1-lap stagger or a 2-lap stagger. I like the 2-lap stagger because it's cleaner and doesn't cause all those problems.
I agree.
But then psychologically, when you're the team starting in lane one,
it feels like you're so far away from the person first. Like you're never going to catch them.
Yeah, and you're not. Your job is to make up part of the stagger.
Exactly.
And then the next person part of the stagger. But the higher seeds get the outside lanes in sprint relays because running on the tighter turn is harder. And it's weird because, like, when I ran the 4x1, my coach put me on the turn leg. Maybe you too.
I was a starter, yeah.
Because the longer leg guys had a hard time running on a turn.
And it's a technique, it's a strategy being able to lean to the side and really hug that turn and get that little extra oomph while you're running.
So in this race, everybody gets a turn and a straightaway because it's a 200. But running in lane one is a tighter turn, and it makes it a little bit harder to keep that speed momentum. So I think the top seeds in this are usually like 3 or 4.
Okay, well, it looks like in lane 1 we
I think
have
it's a one-lane
Aberdeen.
stagger.
Lane 2 we have Joppatown. Lane 3 we have Bel Air. And lane 4 we have Falston.
So that looked like only a 400 stagger to me. So let's see if I'm right now. We talked about this exchanges. Move away, put your hand up. This one, your back is to the person handing off to you. And Tyler, it's a total trust.
No, and it's funny you just brought that up because it looks like lane 3 there, Bel Air had a much cleaner handoff than the Falston, and that made a huge difference because now Bel Air has been able to pass they've been able to pass the Falston runner. And Bel Air is way in first right now, followed by Joppatown, Aberdeen, and then Falston.
So clean exchanges mean everything here?
It definitely helps. Maybe not quite as everything is a 4x1, but 4x2 you really don't have that much more time to spare, and a clean handoff in a close race can definitely make the difference. And like you said, there's that perfect balance. If I'm going 10 miles an hour, you need to be at least going 8, not fast enough to leave me, but you don't want to be standing there like a statue to where it causes us both to mess up.
So I'm not going to critique the exchanges, but I see 3 different styles on 4 teams, and I know which one I like the most, and it's the team that's leading right now.
Yeah, agreed with that. Their hands off, like back to them. They got that hand out and up. Their teammates have just punched it in there. You don't want to waste a lot of time swinging it. Punch it in. Bel Air is going to do their best to hold off Aberdeen here. Aberdeen's trying to make up some space, but I think Bel Air is going to have just enough juice to finish this 4x2 in first, followed by Aberdeen.
So that winning team for Bel Air, Leah King leading off, Kennedy Johnson second, Lena Mailer third, and bringing it home, Kayla Padilla-Greer. Outstanding job.
Nice job, ladies. That was a clean one. Very impressive with their handoffs. Very impressive with their running.
So the other runners in that race, Aberdeen was Brianna Sullivan, Chase Wright, Christian Dodd, and Azaria Butler. Remember a lot of those names from the 100. Joppatown, Avery Marie Bowens, Treasure Preston, Mahogany Sherd, and Ryan Johnson. Some really cool names.
Cool.
I'm just Ray. I'm not Treasure or Mahogany. I'm just Ray.
Just Ray.
How
Well, a ray of
boring.
light, man. You are a ray of light. That is what you are.
So Falston was Amber Shulman, Amelia Klein, Eden Newkirk, and Skylar Vega. I was doing a swim meet, and there was a young man swimming, I think, for Falston, and his name was Legend. And I was like, that is so cool.
That is really cool. Puts a lot of pressure on you, though. If your name's Legend, you better be legendary.
Hey, the older I get, the more of a legend I was. What's the old saying? I'm a legend in my own mind. I mean, something like that, you know.
Yeah, aren't we all?
That goal I scored in soccer was from 50 yards, not 30 yards.
I heard it was 55 yards, right?
So let's do the boy. Why don't you read the boys and do the names too for the relays?
I gotcha. So for the boys 4x200 meter relay, we have lane 1 Bel Air, Brian Flesher, Rufus Bradley, Thomas Salke, and Carter Washington. Lane 2 we have Patterson Mill, Owen Hemphy, Drew Nurse Ringgold, Corey Simmons, and Connor Kalustein. Lane 3 we have Joppatown with D'Artagnan Blakeney, Mackay Kenyon, Cole Pollock, and Malik Garrison. Lane 4, Aberdeen, Gavin Smith, Demarius Darby, Isaiah Gainey, Stephen Giddens. And lane 5 for Falston, Bryson Gibson, Martin McDivitt, Caleb Jedlicka, and Ubangabasi Archibong. And just like for the girls, a lot of familiar names from the 100-meter dash.
So Let's see how our seed times are here, Tyler.
So
31 is the clear leader in Joppatown, and they are in lane 3, so that's what I was referring to about. I think they're one of the middle lanes.
yeah, I always, when I was running, the middle lanes would have the fastest times, and the outside lanes were usually the lower seeds. And as you can see, Joppatown is already off to a very strong start. They closed that gap with their first runner, and it doesn't look like they're going to give any of it up. Aberdeen's not too far behind, but Joppatown is looking very strong right now. Now, one thing I saw during this is switching hands. It's something you want to try not to do while you're running. It kind of can take your focus away. It breaks your stride and your arm pumps. And that was something my coach growing up always would give us a headache about if we unconsciously did that.
Yeah,
It's
so
something
the
you really
first
gotta
person
force.
is running with it in their right hand. They hand it off to your left hand. Then the second person should run with the baton in their left hand and hand off to the next person's
left,
right hand.
left, right.
And so let's see what we got here. Looks like Joppatown's holding the lead, which we thought they would. They had clean exchanges. Joppatown is notorious for very good 4x2s.
Yeah, and they showed it today. But here for second, it looks like
Oh, my.
Patterson was able to take Aberdeen's spot for second. Fourth is Bel Air, and we have Falston finishing now as well.
Yeah, that's an exciting race, and that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I always like the 4x2. It's just the right distance between just pure sprint and a little bit of strategy.
Yep. People don't realize this. Not endurance like a mile or 2 mile, but there's still endurance for a 200. So I know a lot of 100 dashers that last 40 meters of the 200, they're slowing down.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, they don't have that gas in the tank, not to mention that turn.
Yes.
Something as a 100-meter runner you don't think about.
Yep.
As a 200, that can make or break your run, because coming out of blocks on that turn, you can angle them, try and give yourself an edge like that, but you still have to be able to run that turn strong. And you'll see the best 200 runners are very strong on that turn.
So we're going to sound a little bit like broken records, and for those of you that don't even like running, you're going to probably think, I think most of these races are hard, and you're not incorrect. We're going to, being a 2-miler is difficult. A miler, 800, we said how hard it is. This 400 is brutal, and it's the full sprint, but it's not a full sprint. So you're really not running. If you run a 12-second 100 dash, you're not running the first 100 in this in 12 seconds. You're running it in maybe 14 seconds. And you try to maintain that, but you want to be fairly smooth. You don't overpace yourself, though. Like you'll see the kids in kid races jog and then they'll sprint the last 100. No, this isn't a jog and sprint the last 100. It's a controlled sprint. So in our first heat of the girls 400, I have Skylar Bayless from Joppatown lane 1, Meredith Whittington from Falston lane 2, Genesee Hollis from Bel Air in lane 3, Sophia Mahani from Bel Air in lane 4, and Anaya Ellis from Joppatown in lane 5. So, we talked about this. This one takes some grit. It's not really a fun comment to the kids, but you'll hear coaches say, half jokingly, you can be tired when you're done.
Yeah, you have all the time in the world to recover when you're done.
But don't leave too much in the tank. So we actually had a couple swimmers this year try some races for the first time, and they got done and they looked up and they were smiling and looked like they were happy, and they thought, and we said, you should be huffing and puffing.
Yeah, I feel like that's the cardinal sin. You do not want to finish a race smiling and happy-go-lucky. You got to at least look like you're tired. The coach is going to know you left too much in the tank.
So it looks like we have 2 of our 5 runners not here on this event. And we only have 3 heats of this. So I think we're moving along pretty good, Tyler. The meet officials are doing a great job keeping this meet going
Very
along.
smooth, very smooth. Tough thing to do, keeping a meet running smoothly, but they're doing a great job so far. And this last straightaway is...
Looks like Skylar's going to hold her off.
Yep.
Good job, Skylar. It was, I think it was two Jobtown teammates, different color uniform, but they both had a purple variation.
Ah, that threw me off.
Hey, sometimes the schools, when you're the junior and senior, you get the newer track uniform. And then when you're the freshman and sophomore, you get the older one.
Bingo. Or if you're like an underclassman
Yeah, that's what I
and you
mean.
start on JV and then you work your way
Yes.
up, they're not going to change your jersey.
They're going to give you what's left over.
They're going to give you exactly what's left over. No, it's funny you said that, because when I was in high school, we went to Loch Raven, and we had two different colored uniforms for JV and varsity. So us in varsity, we had purple, and our JV, they had white. And before relay races, we would have to have people in the bathroom changing.
So
their
we have
jersey.
Eliana Deku from Aberdeen in lane 1, Lily Winterstein from Falston in lane 2, Katie Retzer from Aberdeen in lane 3, Annabelle Bluen from Falston in lane 4, and Tiana Gomez from Aberdeen in lane 5. And these times are grouped together within 4.5 seconds, so we could have a good race here. But wow, is that outside lane Aberdeen? Tiana Gomez is taking it out, and let's see if she can hold that. So sometimes one of these athletes hasn't done this event for 3 weeks, but the coach determined this was your best event for this meet because we were trying other things. Meantime, they've been training and getting better shape, and all of a sudden they're ready to go out there and pop a time.
Well, it looks like coming down
it's
this
hitting her
last
now.
straightaway, we have 3 Aberdeen. She's definitely hitting that wall, but she might have enough time to hold off.
And she does, or
Ooh,
almost.
that was close. Aberdeen definitely took first and second. The
Yeah.
question is, which Aberdeen took first and second?
Well, I give her credit for trying to be aggressive. She ended up getting first or second, probably got her best time. So now she'll learn that. Let's see here. She's easing into the line, and her teammate is trying to chase her down.
Oh, and her teammate had a good
Eliana.
lean there in lane 1. That may be the difference.
Well, that's the finish line. The outside girl got it. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong Aberdeen girl. They got 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I think lane 1 pulled it out.
Yeah, I think a little bit had to do with that lean you were talking about. It's all about your torso and the technique of a strong lean.
So Tyler, get this last heat for us.
All right, for heat 3, for the girls, 400, we have Elisa Baldwin, Patterson Mill in lane 1, Taylor Wright from Joppatown, lane 2, Layla Solis, lane 3 from Patterson Mill, Madison Berth in lane 4 from Bel Air, and Jordan Robinson, lane 5 from Patterson Mill.
So I asked the coaches to give me some shout outs, and they did tell me, the Johnstown coaches, to watch out for the Layla Solis.
Yeah, I'm looking at her time right now, and she's on the verge of breaking a minute. And
Right.
for a girls' high school, that is incredible.
So I was lucky enough to coach the county record holder, Thori Staples, now Thori Bryan, from Joppatown. She was outstanding. She got to like a 56. She made the U.S. national soccer team for
Oh, wow.
soccer, but she was going to go full ride scholarship for track. She won national championship 2 years for me, with me helping her as a coach in the heptathlon.
The heptathlon.
So she could run like a 2:16 800, 56-second 400, 24-second 200.
Sounds like a jack of all trades,
Nine-
or in this case, a king of all trades.
18, 19-foot long jump.
Is there anything she didn't do, Ray? Because it sounds like she can do it all.
So when I was training her and I was teaching her how to do stuff, after a while I was like, I don't want to pull a hamstring or something. So you jump this height to high jump. I didn't want her to know that she was starting to beat me. So.
Yeah. Well played. Well played.
So looks like we got Patterson Mill coming down here in lane and heat
Yeah,
in
that's
the lead.
the
But
Solis.
looks like we're missing 2 of our runners here for this heat. Patterson Mill.
Got a couple drops today, it looks like.
Looks like Bel Air. So we don't have our time yet, but we'll get these updates soon. I'll be able to update you on I think I still have to update through the 1600, the 4x2, and the 400. So we're going to announce these boys' heats, and then when we get to the 3200, I'll catch us
We'll
up
have
on
some
everything.
time then.
Yes.
Yep. So starting with heat 1 for the boys 400 meter. In lane 1, we have Anthony Mercer from Joppatown. In lane 2, we have Thomas Salke from Bel Air. In lane 3, we have Alex Gray from Bel Air. In lane 4, we have Braden Pistol from Falston. In lane 5, we have Imran Balogan from Joppatown.
So we have a couple people, one person in the third heat that has a 50.84. So
Yeah, I was looking at that.
I'd like to
That-
see if we can
I
break
am looking
50.
forward to seeing that. Yeah, wouldn't that be incredible?
So my friend Charles Johnson may or may not be here. I texted him today. I'm being a little biased here, giving shout outs to Joppatown, but he had the county record for many years at 47 something in the 400, and it might have been broken in the last couple of years. There was a couple outstanding runners. I was standing at the meet before we started doing these meets with a friend of ours, Kilo Mack, who was at Edgewood High School. You know Kilo, he was your
yeah, I know
supervisor.
Kilo Mack.
So we're standing there with Charles, and we're all just joking around and reminiscing. And we saw the seed times, and we're like, Charles, I think this guy might get you.
Yeah.
And the guy did. He broke his record. So we were razzing.
So you were there with the former record
Yes.
holder as you got the witness
Yes.
live.
But that record stood for 30 plus years.
It's generations.
That's hard to do.
That's really hard. It's
Yes.
hard to hold a school record for that
Right,
long,
right.
let alone the whole county record.
Yes. Yes, he was out. He was a football star too, and he was inducted into our first class of Hall of Fame last year in Joppatown. So, shout out to Charles. You know, he's one of those people, along with my teammate Matt Collins, that they make it look so easy.
Right?
You know, it kind of ticks you off a little bit.
Yeah. Like, how can you make something so grueling
Looks so easy.
look like you're not even trying? But that's the secret, I guess.
And then they just walk off like they're not tired when they finish, and I'm like hands on knees, gasping for air.
Well, it sounds like they need to start acting like they're more tired, or their coach is going to be like, you left some in the tank. Well, I guess when you hold the record in the county, I guess you're allowed to hold a little in the tank.
That's right. So let's see here. We got a good grouping here.
Yeah, tight race coming into this last turn.
Yeah, there's no drafting on this one, folks. You're in your own lane.
Stay in your lane, as the kids say. Stay in your lane.
So we looked like the inside lane here. Joppatown, Anthony Mercer, but it's not over yet.
Not over.
Oh, there it is.
Yep, so it looks like Anthony Mercer is going to finish this one first, followed by Alex Gray from Bel Air.
I think that was Thomas Shalke in lane 2, maybe.
Oh, Thomas Shaw.
That's okay. So I think the team should not put runners in side-by-side lanes because it's just going to make it harder for us.
Especially when
Come
they're
on.
on the same team.
That's what I mean. Like,
Throw us a
come on.
bone. Anyhow, we got Heat 2 coming up. And starting with this, in lane 1, we have Isaac and Beckill from Bel Air. In lane 2, we have Malik Adelani from Patterson Mill. In lane 3, we have Owen Young from Patterson Mill. Lane 4, Joshua Atha from Falston. And lane 5, Moyd Kalahaji from Joppatown.
So I'm going to throw out another shout out here. The Bel Air coaching staff, Sharon Pickett, head coach, coaches the middle distance, long distance, and hurdles. Nate Evans, head coach, coaches sprint and jumps. Regina Bernstein, coaches mid and long distance. Larry Pickett, coaches mid and long distance. Andy Neal, coaches the throws. I don't know who the Bel Air High School principal is, but I know the athletic director is Craig Reddish, a friend of mine. We went to college together, even though I'm much older than him. He probably finished in 5 years, and I probably finished in 8 years.
You had
you
so
know,
much fun, you stayed a
I
little
just-
longer.
Yeah. They liked me a lot. They
Did
wanted
they?
me to stay around.
That's what it was.
I'm
right?
telling myself that.
Yeah. Nah, I stayed an extra semester too. I had so much fun. I had to stay 4.5 years.
Actually, mine was, I started off with business, then I decided I wanted to be a teacher. And that was after a many-year break. And thankfully to my teachers that I was working with as I substituted, they talked me into teaching. And thank goodness I did it, because I get to have a nice career after that.
Absolutely.
Working with kids, it's mostly a great thing.
Most days, yes.
There are days
most
where
days.
they're a little bit rough, but other than that,
Some days it's not even the kids. It's just the whole profession. It can be tough,
it's
man.
a tough job.
It can be.
People need to appreciate the teachers, just like I appreciate all these coaches out here.
Doing the dirty work, the unsung heroes that got
Yes.
this meet going so smoothly. You don't hear about them often, but without them, we wouldn't be able to be here today.
Right. A lot of these coaches have experience in the sport. Some of them don't, and they're just kindly, learning it, putting their time in. I'm going to be very biased here, Tyler. Track kids are some of the best kids.
You think?
Yes. I mean, just like swimmers are.
I agree. It's a different mentality with these kind of sports. And wow, looks like Falston, Joshua Atha, really finished strong. He might be looking at a really good time because he was able to break away from the pack.
Yeah, he might move into that top 6 easily.
There's a very strong chance.
It takes a different person to do an individual sport than it does to do a team sport.
Right, and there's less glory. You
Yes.
see the team sports, you score, you celebrate.
Yeah.
This, you run the race, you celebrate a little. It's just not, I guess you could say, as glamorous
Right.
as some of those other sports. Okay, they're really fast.
That was somebody's fingers on the screen there doing the walking.
I thought that was Cousin Ed running. I thought he was in our next heat. But speaking of our next heat, this one, folks, should be very exciting. In lane 1, we have Jackson De Nachilo from Falston. Lane 2, we have Alexander Brooks from Aberdeen. Lane 3, keep an eye out on this one, Sean Elam from Aberdeen. Lane 4, Ian Battle, also from Aberdeen. And lane 5, Connor Sabert from Patterson Mill. And, from the looks of it, Aberdeen's got some very strong 400 runners.
Yeah, they should be really good in that 4x4 later, that's for sure.
It looks like they were going to be just fine if these results are anything to go off of
Yes.
for their 4x4.
Well, and people don't, you talk about team sport and individual sport. Depth matters. So, like, when I played one of my college years of soccer, we had 8 outstanding players, and then we had a big drop-off. So we still did good, but trying to hide 3 positions on the field. So if you have 3 outstanding 4x400 runners, but then your next guy is 10 seconds slower, the other teams might have the depth to compete with
To make
you.
up for that.
Yes.
And then you got to strategize, where can I put this person
Yes.
to do the least amount of damage, I guess you could say. You don't want to put it like
Looks
that.
like we're missing one of the Aberdeen runners here, though. This is a shame for them in a team score because they had the top 3 seeds there. We could tell. So lane 3 and 4 are there.
So it looks like Sean Elam is coming in strong, followed by his teammate Ian Battle. Alexander Brooks. So it looks like Aberdeen's actually going to take first, second, and third there, followed closely
didn't
by
even see 'em.
Falston. These similar colors are throwing me for a curveball.
So when they
too.
were in the curve over there, one of the runners was behind another one. So I'm going to blame my old age and my eyes on that.
Let's
one,
go with
folks.
that. I had trouble seeing it too. Maybe the sun got in your eyes. Let's go with that. How about it?
So we'll get these results soon. They're going to be, you can hear a coach in the background yelling and cheering a little bit here, or it might be an official. He's telling his people when they can talk and when they have to be quiet. So it is very important that we are quiet on the start. I mean, even when I'm at swim meets, I hear people talking when they're getting ready to set. And I'm like,
Please, for the respect of the athletes. You already
Yes.
had one false start
Right,
today.
right.
That chatter and that talking, that could totally ruin someone.
we got a good shot here of it looks like an Aberdeen young lady doing the shot put. She did the half turn technique. So you want to use your arm strength, but you want to pull your core and your legs into it too, Tyler. I mean, people think that all throwers have to be really big people. I had a young lady at John Carroll named Kim Parasino that came off the softball team freshman and sophomore year and realized she liked to run and jump more than she liked to play ball. So she came out for my team. In 2 years, she won the maximum she could, 8 county championships.
Wow.
She could do everything from the hurdles and sprints to the 800. And she was built like tall and skinny. I taught her how to do the discus. She won the county and state championship. She was
Wow.
going against girls who had 80 pounds on her. So it's not just all body strength, it's technique
That
too.
technique can
She
really
could do-
make the difference.
Some people just wound up, and you can't see me here, folks, but they just did a half turn and throw. She could do the 1.5 turn spin and get that centrifugal force into it.
Build that momentum.
Yes. So here we go. We got the start of the girls, 3,200. I'll read this one. We have 8 entries. We have Abigail Hormsum. So I'll let Tyler watch the screen here for a second and see if Abigail stays towards the front. So Patterson Mill, Abigail Horseman, Emma Lyman from Patterson Mill, and Hannibal Wang from Patterson Mill are the first, second, and third seeds.
And it looks like they're holding that for now.
Then we have Gabriella Murphy, who finished 4th in the 1600 from Falston, is our 4th seed. Vivian Sethi from Bel Air, Avery Alliger from Bel Air, Layla Otto from Falston, and Jennifer Phillips from Falston. So you see this trend here where different teams have different strengths. And years ago, it would always be C. Milton Wright and Bel Air as powers and distance running. But then you have Jerry Henderson, who came along at Edgewood, and though they're not in this meet, he's really developed a good distance program. Patterson Mill in the last 10 years have really developed a good distance program. And that's why I hate it when people label towns and say, oh, you can't have good distance runners from this town, or you're not going to have good football players. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
People are people. You teach them, you train them, you
Right.
find the talent, and they can make it. So kudos to Patterson Mill distance coaches for the work
Breaking
they're
the
putting
mold.
in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you and I talked about the depth for champions. One thing I'm noticing here is Patterson Mill girls seem to be pretty good at everything. So we'll catch up on the team scores later, but they won last year. Last year's girls championships, Patterson Mill was first with 139 points. Bel Air was second with 92. Aberdeen was third at 63. So though those other two teams did very good, they had a
Fairly strong lead.
47 point
Fairly
lead.
strong lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, in the men's, Joppatown won with 91.5 points. Patterson Mill was second with 83.5, so that was only 8-point difference. So Bel Air was next at 80.5. So let's see how the results come out now. While we're running these races, I'm going to catch up on some of these events. And I don't know if I need to refresh my phone, show all results. Let me see. So in the results here, I'm pretty sure I said the men's 100.
Yes. Now, do we get the finals? Did we get the finals from that yet, or?
I'll look through and see as I scroll through. So in the 400 meter, 6th place is Owen Young, did a 55.1. 5th place, and Owen was from Patterson Mill. 5th place was Jackson DeNicolo from Falston with the 54.4. You're going to hear some of these times being really close, folks. 4th place from Falston was Joshua Atha with the 54.1. 3rd place was Alexander Brooks from Aberdeen with the 53.8. 2nd place was Ian Battle, 52.2. And then 1st place, also from Aberdeen, for the sweep, Sean Elam with the 51.4. Now in the 1600 meter, we had 6th place Caden Miller from Falston, 520.8. 5th place from Bel Air, Charles Taylor, 516.5. Then we had Noah Janahan from Patterson Mill, 503. Then we had Andrew Burstein with a very credible 448 from Bel Air. Then we had Nicholas Spangler from Falston with a 443, and we had Nolan Murphy, winner, with a 442. I already did the the 110 hurdles, and in case I don't repeat it again, Cole Pollock with a 15.4 from Joppatown, outstanding. Our first place 4x200 relay was the Joppatown young men, Dartanen Blakeney, Mikai Kenyon, Cole Pollock, and Malik Garrison with a very good 132 flat.
Wow.
And this wind is outstanding. In the high jump, I already read those results. Cole Pollock, a two-time winner now. He's won a field event and an individual event. And I had our winner of the pole vault, Owen Young, 13 feet. It's a very, very credible pole vault jump in the wind. In the girls' 100 meter, I had said Jordan Robinson was first place with a 12.7. In the 400, our girls' results are sixth place, 110, Aberdeen Katie Rutzer. Fifth place, Tiana Gomes from Aberdeen, 109. And then Eliana Diku from Aberdeen, 109. So might not be first, second, third, but fourth place, fifth place, and sixth place gets you some good team
points on the table. Sixth, fifth, and fourth. Add that up. That's 6. That's the same as a third place finish, correct?
Yes, right there. Yeah. So, so then you have Madison Berth in third place from Aberdeen, Bel Air with a 108. Then really some really good time jumps here. Jordan Robinson from Paris Mill, 102.1 for second, and we got what we wanted, Tyler. Lila Solis broke a minute, and she got 59.6.
Wow, congratulations. That is, for a women's 400, that is incredible.
So then we have here a tie for fifth place in the 1600. We were talking about that lean, so they actually tied.
Oh, wow.
So we had Gianna Sabatini from Patterson Mill and Leah Richards from Falston, 6:17.5. And then coming in right before them was Gabriella Murphy in fourth place from Falston with a 6:15.2. Then right before that, we had Aubrey Edwards from Bel Air coming in with a 6:13.5. So we had like third, fourth, fifth, sixth place came within 4 seconds of each other. Then we had Vivian Farmer from Patterson Mill, ran a very good 6:02.9. That's a very good time, folks. And then our one young lady breaking 6 minutes, Carly Lenhoff from Patterson Mill with a 5:47.5.
That's incredible.
So again, to review that Abby Lippert was our first place finisher in the 110 hurdles from Bel Air. Our 4x200 was also Bel Air, 154.7. Leah King, Kennedy Johnson, Lena Mailer, and Kayla Podier Greer. And then I do have results now, good. For the discus, sixth place girls, London Holly, 51.5. I'm not going to do all the results here. Fifth place, Demi Miles, Aberdeen. Fourth place, Lila Ethington from Falston. Third place, Kayla Reynolds from Joppatown. Second place, this was close, Tyler, Taylor Roth from Falston, 79 feet. And then first place, Jada Daniels, Joppatown, 80 feet, 9 inches.
Less than a foot?
One foot, 9 inches difference.
1 foot 9. I didn't see the, sorry, I thought you said 79.9.
And then I gave you our pole vault results. So, so we're updated on results. Let me see if I can find team scores in here and give an update on that, because that's also fun to follow. Tyler, what we got here, we have those two top-seeded Patterson Mill girls look like they're 1-2 right now.
Absolutely, yeah. So the first place for Patterson Mill, she has got quite the distance. Looks like her teammate, is still strong in second place.
I was looking at the wrong two girls that were 1-2. My bad.
Oh, it's okay. No, yeah, we have first place for Patterson Mill with quite the commanding lead. Almost, I'd say about close to 80-meter lead. I believe those are both of her teammates in second and third as well. Now, I'm not quite sure, without, clarification on who is who. but I definitely do remember seeing Abigail Horseman earlier in one of our distance runs, and she looked very strong. But from the looks of it, Emma Lyman and Hannibal Wang are also very strong distance runners as well.
So this is kind of exciting, Tyler. It's only 8 of 18 events because we got a lot of field events still to come in. But Jopletown's in first place with 42 points. Bel Air and Patterson Mill are tied for second with 36. And then they're not way back. Falston, 27, Aberdeen, 25. So a lot of balance in the men's
scoring. A lot
scoring.
of balance. And with that last 400-meter race, have those 400 results been put in yet? They have? Okay, because I knew that had a lot of points coming Aberdeen's way.
So, yes, if I had the results for the individual events, it should go in the team score. Women's, Patterson Mill, 58.5. But Bel Air holding strong there with 42 and Jopletown 39. So, you know, different teams have different strengths, but right now, Patterson Mill girls are definitely going to pad this lead.
Oh yeah,
with this 3,200 right now.
If they can finish this race with the first, second, and third place, that is a nice little wave of points about the crash-in for them.
So again, reminder, folks, pretty soon here, I'm going to read off another coaching staff here, and then I'm going to tell you the schedule that she sent me. So my friend Laura Snyder is one of the coaches at Patterson Mill. She's here today. So Dave Herrick is one of their coaches. She said he does the explosion events, sprint, hurdles, jumps.
Okay.
He's the head coach of that. Jeff Berger is the other head coach, distance. Assistant coaches, Laura Snyder handles hurdles and sprints also. Brian King, assistant coach in distance. Kevin Young, pole vault. Mike Burke, throws. That's not uncommon to have one assistant coach dedicated to something unique like the pole vault or the throws. Because you either know it or you don't know.
It's such a different beast, you know? Whereas like some running events, the skill and knowledge can transition from one race to another. I don't know too many races or events that are the same as pole vault, correct? So that might take a certain specialty that you have one person specialize in.
So that takes kind of a combination of strength, gymnastics ability, all kind of stuff.
Balance, core strength.
Because you got to pull yourself up there, hold this position, core strength, get your feet up and over first, turn as you're holding the pole, and then bend over the bar so that your feet go over first, then your midsection, and then you don't stay like that. You snap back with your head and upper body so that you don't hit the bar.
And that brings up the last part that's important for pole vaulters, bravery.
Yes.
Because you go up that high, if you ain't brave, I'm not quite sure how you're going to be able to do it.
Well, one of my high school friends just stayed with me recently, and we were talking about this, and he was one of our pole vaulters, and he was inducted into the Jopletown Hall of Fame also. And we were talking about that, and he said, didn't you come over and try it once? And I said, yeah. And he said, didn't you do good? I said, yeah. What was the matter? He said, I didn't like that feeling of being way up there in the air like that, you know?
Yeah.
So
I wasn't either. I think I tried pole vault one time over a summer track camp at Hereford High, and they wanted me to just try it for fun. I got my pole on the ground, got about, I don't know, maybe 5-6 feet in the air, and I let go. And I'm like, that's for the birds. No, thank you. I like staying on the ground.
Well, they said I did like 10 feet, and which is incredible. And they said, you could be good at that. And I'm like, or pretty good at that. I'm like, I'm pretty good at 4 other events. I'll stick with the ones that are on the ground.
Which are safer. Yeah, if I'm only pretty good at that, but I'm also pretty good at safe events, I'm sticking with the safe events.
I like that light, fluffy sand in the long jump pit.
That's okay to crash in. Yeah, I've seen a few horror stories with pole vault, and that was kind of enough to scare me off. But anywho, it looks like we have our top 3 from Patterson Mill just finishing now for the 3,200 meter. Congratulations to them.
Before you announce the boys' events and we wrap up this, I want to tell you that Laura told me that the divisionals are all around today, the 3 different meets, and that the UCBAC Championships, if anybody wants to go see it, it's exciting. It's May 6th and May 7th. and it's supposed to be at Perryville High School, beautiful track. Then to be determined, but somewhere between May 12th and 16th, you have your regional track meets, and then around May 20, well, not around, Labor Day weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Maybe is that Memorial Day weekend or Memorial Day weekend the weekend after?
I would have to check my calendar.
So I think they try to stay away from Memorial Day weekend. So the 21st to the 23rd is states. They do a Thursday meet, Friday meet, and a Saturday meet. Okay, let's get the, as these girls finish, Tyler, let's do the boys' entries because they're going to send them right on the track for the 1600.
Sounds good, Ray. So, starting us off for the boys, 3,200 meter run. In lane 1, we're going to have Chris Novak, Patterson Mill. 2, Nicholas Spangler, Falston. You've heard his name a lot today. 3, Ryan Glacken, Bel Air. 4, Cole Miller, Patterson Mill. 5, Garrett Osher, Bel Air. 6, Andrew Montalvo, Bel Air. 7, Luca Danielle, Aberdeen. 8, Eric Dunca, Aberdeen. 9, Tanner Driscoll, Falston. 10, Dominic Kengalosi, Falston. And 11, Brian Mangold, Patterson Mill.
So, Tyler, back me up on this. Travis has probably told you this. I'm a coach for multiple sports, but I consider myself a caring coach. I go out of my way to make all my athletes matter, whether they're the number 1 or the number 10 miler on my team, whether they're whatever. Every person in this meet is good.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's a championship meet. You made it today for a reason.
You could see somebody coming in the last couple spots at his 3,200 and think, they're running 2 miles in 14 minutes, and these other people are doing it in 12 minutes. 14 minutes is tough.
It's still nothing to snoot at. It is really tough.
I mean,
really tough.
You take your average person in the world, like I knew this one high school coach that used to say that everybody that made his high school basketball team had to run under a 6-minute mile. Not everybody can run under a 6-minute mile. You know,
No.
I mean, if you did the percentile thing, probably out of males, maybe 5% of the population can make under a 6-minute mile.
Sounds about right.
It's not an easy task. So to run 2 back-to-back 7-minute miles for these young ladies, that's good.
That is a type of toughness you don't understand until you try it.
Right. And it's a different kind of pain. It's a different kind of hurt. This is where I worry about the heat.
Oh, yeah. Sapping it out of
Yes.
the distance runners. My coach always told me a real hot day is great for the short distance sprinters. And, think and pray for our distance runners because
Right.
they are going to get it zapped out of them. They're out in the sun longer. They're dealing with the heat even longer. They're getting drained more from the sun. Their race is longer. It definitely affects our distance runners.
Well, I'm very respectful to all athletes. I can watch the Winter or the Summer Olympics, and somebody can watch something like the biathlon and say they're skiing and shooting a gun. Are you kidding me? Cross-country skiing is considered one of the most difficult things to do endurance-wise, not just on your breathing, but on your legs. And then they got to get their heart rate from 180 to 50 so that they can be
They'll
still
hold that steady and
shoot
hit
that
that
gun.
mark.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I bring up an analogy because whether you're a naturally gifted fast person and you can sprint, that's a skill. Everybody should have respect for that. If you don't have respect for what distance runners can do, shame on you.
Shame on you. You must not understand. Anyone
Yes.
who doesn't respect their events, they just don't get it.
Well, I coach swimming, as you know, too, and people will go, they're just a swimmer.
Have you swam before?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Swimming is one of the hardest things.
Yes.
I hated swim practices for track. Treading water, you ever done that for 5 minutes? Well, I'm sure you have.
Yes.
But I don't think, like we talked about the 14-minute 2 mile, I don't think 5% of people could tread water for that long.
No, and the thing is, you go back to the respect factor. These people are willing to do a tough sport. They're not in a team sport with a ball, which could be considered more fun.
Where it gets more of the attention, the
They
excitement.
know that they have a skill, and they do it. And, I mean, that's why, like, when I watch a marathon and these men are averaging under a 5-minute mile for 27 point or whatever, 26 point, that's like a robot. I mean, how can some people don't even understand the respect for that. Now let's watch this break in here, Tyler. When they have this many people, sometimes they have enough room to put them all across the track with that staggered start, and they get to do that step forward. But if they have too many, then somebody has to start beyond the first row of people. Sometimes I like being right behind lane one as the second person, because it's an easy, you don't have to worry about cutting in.
Right, you're already there.
Yes.
You're already there, and depending on how the person in front of you, if they're moving quick, you can get in front of a lot of people
Yes.
quickly without having to battle, catch those bumps and those thumps that can knock you off your, mental state.
So when I used to coach youth track and high school track, regular season meets in particular, this is not cheating, folks. This is strategy. If they're only worried about lining up the first 2 or 3 seats, they say number 1 Bel Air, lane 1. They don't even know the times. They just say number 1. If it's a tri meet, number 1 Bel Air, lane 1. Number 1 Joppatown, lane 2. Number 1 Patterson Mill. They make sure the number 1 runner on each team gets to start up front on the inside lanes, as they should. The other runners just line themselves up. Now, if it's a good starter, he'll say number 2 Patterson Mill, number 2 Joppatown, number 2, to be fair. But I used to tell Travis and many of my runners through the years, I'm like, if you're not one or two on your team, line up behind in the second row, lane 1.
It's
a great
technique.
breakout position.
Yeah.
You go out right behind them. You let everybody else fight to get on that turn. So somebody's all the way out at lane 6, and by the time they get done that 100 turn, they want to get in the inside lane.
You're already there.
You're already there.
You're already there.
So again, my second smart thing that I said today, I'm running out of smart things I know, Tyler. So
I'm not keeping track of how many things you said, but if it's only 2, I can from now on.
So what do we got here in our lead pack? We got to see if it is our top 3. I'm assuming Chris Novak, our 1600 winner, and Nicholas Spangler from Falston, who was second, are there. And then I think Cole Miller, who's the 4 seed here, was our higher seed in the 1600.
So I'm not quite sure, Ray. I'm not seeing the orange Falston, so I'm not sure if Nicholas Spangler's in this race.
He might have dropped
I
out.
do see Chris Novak for Patterson Mill, followed right behind Ryan Glacken from Bel Air.
Right.
That might be a second Bel Air person and third there as well. But yeah, it looks like our number 2 from Falston, he may have dropped this. He's already had quite the day.
Can I be honest? That's a hard day for a one-day meet.
Yeah.
I mean, I am not.
And as quick as this is flowing, the
Yes.
faster and more efficient a meet is, that's less time for you.
Yeah, you don't have the
till
recovery
you
time.
recover.
So let's put it this way. He was supposed to do the highest 4 distance races, 3,200, 1,600, 4x8, and open 8. That's a really tough one.
All within 2 hours of
Yes.
each other? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that in 4 hours.
So I don't know what the rules are, if you're allowed to drop a race, if it affects your next race in track and field. In swimming, it does impact your next race.
It doesn't?
It does.
It does.
So
Okay.
I hope we can still see him in the in the open 8.
Right.
'cause-
Hopefully there's no injury or reason for
Yes.
this.
So let me see if I have any more updated results here while we're finishing this. Sometimes I'll add a field event in here, and I would obviously have the girls. So I don't think I said this one before, Tyler. The boys shot put, did I read those results? Because I don't think I did.
No, we haven't heard the
Okay,
boys'
so
shot
the
put
boys shot put results. 6th place, Adaremi Oluwapalemu from Joppatown. 5th place, Tomko Nathaniel from, I'm reading this backwards. Before they were doing them on our site sheet, last name, first name.
And now they're first,
doing
last.
Okay, so it's Nathaniel Tomko, 5th place from Falston. Matthew Fitchett from Patterson Mill, 4th. Imran Balagan from Joppatown, 3rd. Tavon Murphy from Joppatown, 2nd with a 40 feet 11 inches. And then just under 2 feet above that, Caden Blaine from Bel Air, 42 feet, 10 1/4 inches. Outstanding. Also have the boys' discus results. Ryan Naylor from Joppatown in 6th. Caden Weber from Bel Air in 5th. Kavena Kamani from Joppatown in 4th. We have Nathaniel Tomko from Falston in 3rd. We have Xavier Stacker from Joppatown in 2nd. And with a throw of 124.9, that's an outstanding discus throw, Caden Blaine. So Caden won both distance events. Shout out to the Joppatown throw coaches. 2nd, 3rd, and 6th in the shot put.
It's a lot of points. Well done.
2nd, 4th, and 6th in the discus.
So they got the throwing going on in Joppatown.
They're gonna, if they pull this out, it's gonna be a lot to do with field events, because remember they went 1, 2, 3 in the high jump. And did I announce that one yet? Bresley McNish from Bel Air, 6th. Charles Taylor, 5th from Bel Air. Jackson Nicolino from Falston, 4th. Timothy Sims from Joppatown, 3rd. Malik Harrison, Joppatown, 2nd. And Cole Pollock with a jump of 5'10". I think I did, because I said Cole Pollock's name a couple times. So outstanding. Let me see if I have any updates on the women's side. I think I read the women's shot put. Does that ring a bell to you? Mackenzie Smith?
Yes.
Okay. So again, Joppatown 1st and 2nd in the girls' shot put. In the discus, I think I read this also. So
Yes. Yep. We went over that.
So Jada Daniels got 2nd in the shot and
Having a
1st
great
in the
day.
discus. So great job. I did read the girls' high jump. Again, Joppatown 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. So interesting. Let me read the updated team points while we're finishing this 3200. So updated, close. Joppatown men's 60 points, Bel Air 53, Patterson Mill 38. So got sort of a two-team race there. In the girls, Patterson Mill, even with that great 3200, the Joppatown girls, because of the field events, have put themselves in the running. We weren't accounting for that.
That makes the difference. Those
Yeah.
are points on the table that got scooped up in the field events.
So Patterson Mill is first with a 58.5, and then Joppatown is second with a 53, and then Bel Air is third with 42. So outstanding.
It's a close one. And, you know, with the end of this 3200, if the results stay the way they are, Patterson Mill getting 10 points from this, they'll be right back in it for a fight in the top 3.
So I was lucky enough to be a fairly successful team coach in swimming and track and field. And when I coached John Carroll girls and boys swimming, and then when I coached Bel Air before that, there were some years where we won big or other teams won big. And people will say, is it fun? Isn't it more fun to win big? Ironically, after it's over and you won,
Right.
it's more fun to look back when you won close.
You remember the meets where you skimmed by and
Yes.
just really had to eke out that win.
'Cause
as
everybody
opposed-
mattered.
Exactly. Everything mattered.
Yes. I tell that kid that goes, well, Matt got 40 points all by himself. I only scored 2. We won by 2 points.
You were a bigger deal than you think.
Yes.
You know, those small amount of points make the
Yes.
difference. That's why we got you where we have you.
Yes.
Because those small, the tight victories, it's only 1, 2, maybe
Yep.
3 points.
Yep. I mean, I constantly try to tell kids how they're doing, because especially if you're on a team with a star. My summer swim team, we're small, but we're mighty at Maryland Golf. We don't have the depth other teams have, but we have some really good swimmers. But within the same age group, I'll have a parent say, oh my God, my kid is so frustrated because they have to swim against so-and-so. But I'm like, but that swimmer's #1 in the county. your kid is in the top 5.
Right.
They're still really good.
And you're racing to beat your previous time.
Yeah,
and
so
to do the best you can do.
I go out of my way with my athletes in a sport like track and field or swimming to show them all the results and say, 200 kids ran the 100 dash this year. You're in the top 20.
And it's hard sometimes to make younger kids understand how important that is. They get so
Right.
caught up in wanting to be the very best,
Right.
or get their names up there, and they don't realize that small, dirty work does matter.
And you're the best in your school.
And
That's
exactly.
something.
That's definitely something. It's got to be worth something. You're
Right.
the fastest one in your school. That's bragging rights,
It
no matter
is.
where you are.
Well, I've heard a few people that I know talk trash. Boys do that more than girls do. And they're like on the football team or the soccer team, and they're like, oh, I'm probably faster than so-and-so. So I always do it as a recruiting boy. Okay, prove it.
Yeah.
Come on out for the
Prove
team.
it. It's easy to say that.
Yeah.
Prove it.
Yes. Plus, they don't understand sprinting for a ball in soccer,
Way different.
sprinting for a tackle in football. It's different than running. Look at this.
Yeah, let me know if
this
there's a
is the
5-meter
finish,
race.
if this is
Wow.
the finish,
Patterson Mill, looks like they're going to take this. Bel Air, not too far away in second, with another Patterson Mill. Looks like they're going to be finishing in third.
So that
Patterson
should be-
Mill's going to get some points. They're going to
so
be back in this.
if that's our freshman Chris Novak again, which we'll find out soon. No, it has Chris Novak down here as a senior. And I don't know if this is a typing error, but I swore on the 1600 they listed him as a freshman.
I do know that when we were looking at the 1600, they had, that's Nolan Murphy.
Oh, different runner.
Nolan
Okay.
Murphy. Same school, and again, without their
Wow.
names there, it can be kind of confusing. So
depth.
please bear with us. But yeah, that's hats off to the incredible depth Bel Air has,
Patterson Mill.
has at these distance events.
So here's what it comes back to. Nolan is back in the 800.
Okay.
And Chris did the 3200, 800. Nolan did the 1600, 800.
And that shows how important this depth is. You can
Yes.
put them in other races. You don't
Yes.
need to put him here. You're still
Yes.
getting first and third.
Yeah, so when I ran and I told you I had all these great teammates, we had one runner named Danny Boyle who was the 3200, 1600 champion in the county, practically the state. But he could also run a good 800. But if we didn't need him to, we didn't make him run the 800. He could also run the 4x8. He could also run the 4x4.
Get some points somewhere else.
Yes. Now, if we had a really big meet and other people were sick, he did triple up or quadruple up. But when you had 3 other guys that could run a sub 2-minute 800, why did we need him in the open
Right,
800?
you're still getting those
Yes.
points.
Well, that's why, back to your point, everyone matters. When I have people come to me when it comes to running or swimming and they go, well, I'm not as good as those people are, but you're good.
You're good.
And you can
still
help the
are
team.
valuable.
Yes.
Right, that 1 point
Yes.
is 1 point that not only did you get us, you took it away from another team.
Yes.
That is valuable.
Plus, I love the part of swimming and track and field you mentioned a minute ago. Beat your previous time.
Yeah.
Beat your previous distance in a throw or a jump. PRs matter. I tell my parents of the kids' teams I coach, even when I used to coach the Harford County Gliders, I said, if you want to do something that's positive for your kid, when they get a PR, put it on an index card in a highlighter and stick it on their dresser. or
Celebrate
something.
him.
Celebrate that.
Celebrate them and motivation to beat it again.
Yeah.
You see it every
Well, and
day.
not only that, a lot of people don't understand that places don't always aren't indicative of your result.
Right.
So when my daughter used to swim club swimming, I used to have to tell some of our family members that went, she could be in a meet where there's 20 heats of one race. She's in the fastest heat, but she got 8th out of 8. Some people thought that was she did bad. No, she was in a faster than 19 of the 20 heats.
Yeah.
So her time is what mattered. She could be in another meet where she's in the 4th fastest race of 10 heats, but she got first in her heat, but she didn't get near her time. So we would always stress, how do you think now? Now, you're not a robot. These kids aren't robots. They're not going to get a best time every time.
No.
But once they do, celebrate that. If they get a really good time, but it's a bad conditions day, You still celebrate.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, back to the wind and the sun, the weather conditions really, really can make a huge, huge impact. I remember when I was in college, we were running at York College in PA, and it was for the conference championships. And it was nothing short of a hurricane.
Yeah.
And for the 400 runners, I don't think a single runner even came within a second of their PR. Because you got rain and wind blasting in your face, it is tough. It is tough. So if you're able to do well and the weather is horrible, that in itself is something to celebrate.
So,
for sure.
Tyler, I got to tell you a funny story. Again, Mr. Bishop, he took us to, one of my high school friends told me, this shows you how you care and don't care. He told me that I ran independent relays. And I'm like, oh, I did? I remember going to invitationals with some of our runners, but we ran at the Drake relays or the Diamond relays in Delaware, and it was considered one of the top meets in the country. But we also went to the AAU meets in the summer and stuff like that out of high school. I went to this AAU meet, and he did our entries for us, and we trusted him. I got there.
Oh, man.
It wasn't the 300 hurdles, it was the 400 hurdles.
Oh, so you were up doing the big boy race.
So here we are. In high school, we ran the 300 hurdles. I go to this AAU meet, and I go out there, and I'm getting ready to walk out to the turn at the mark where you do 300.
You start.
And so many people are like, where are you going, young
Get
man?
on
We're
back.
back here. I'm like, well, what? And then I noticed the other hurdles on the turn. I'm like, he said, this is the 400 hurdles.
Yeah, this isn't what I signed up for.
So you add 33% more distance to an already tough race. So needless to say, I did pace myself a little bit different on that
Yeah,
one.
I am sure you had to.
So here we are at Heat 1 of the girls' 300-meter hurdles, and we have Leanne Daxon from Falston in lane 3 and Cadence Ford from Choptown in lane 5.
It looks like they must have merged another
happened.
heat together because we have 3 runners going in this race.
So I don't see a Falston in this heat.
It looks like we have a Patterson Mill. They're in the green. That might be
That's
Elsa
probably
Flash.
Elsa Flash. What else we have here? Is that a Bel Air out there?
That is a Bel Air.
Which
so,
I would think that would be Mina Neffel.
And if that purple is Joppatown, that might be Cadence
It's
Ford.
either Cadence Ford or Gracie Smith.
Yeah, so we got Bel Air, Joppatown, and Patterson Mill.
So we'll know when we see the results, folks. I'm going to say it again. This is a tough race. It's so much lactic acid burn happening right now in their legs.
And you got to get them up over those hurdles when you're already running a 300 fast. Not an easy ask.
So, Tyler, I'm going to see if you can keep up with this.
I'm going to try
This
my
is like a
best.
riddle.
Oh, boy.
The first time I ran the 300 hurdles, I won the 295 hurdles.
Well,
What's that mean?
Kind of means you did not win your race.
It means I tripped over the last hurdle.
Oh, is that what that means? I mean, I'm assuming you still didn't win the race.
No, my teammates were cheering me on. The girls lacrosse team was on the infield. A lot of my friends. I'm like on cloud 9 coming into that last hurdle. I'm winning decisively. And then I caught the toe underneath the hurdle, face plant. They both ran by me. I did get up and finish.
Okay.
But scraped up like crazy. But yeah,
Battle scars.
I tell people, yeah, I won most of the race.
I ran a good bit. I was in the majority of the race, right? You put it like that, and it's a little more impressive.
So then later on, my coach told me, don't lead like a soccer kick with your lead leg. Lead like a karate kick, heel out, and I improved.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I never fell again, but man, that was a
Well, I'm
hard
glad.
lesson to learn.
I'm glad that's my last falling race story. If you've heard a couple today.
Yeah, I fall a lot, don't I? I just realized. Yeah, but now I fall getting out of bed, so that's different.
Yeah, a different kind of
So
fall.
we're going to hope this is who we think it is, but it's not. So we apologize, folks, because there's no Joppatown in this third heat. So we're just going to have to tell you the results when they finish. Because the last heat is supposed to be 2 Bel Air and an Aberdeen.
And this looks like we have 2 Aberdeen and I believe,
Bel Air?
is that
Another blue?
Aberdeen, and then the different color
That might be the
jerseys
different.
throwing us
that
off.
is
That's
the-
a Joppatown.
So I'm going to say this is Kayla Reynolds in lane 1 from Joppatown. Thames Garcia Rivera from Aberdeen and Niana Core. So
Yep.
that one should be right.
So I'm wondering, did they skip the first heat?
I think that's what they might have done.
Yeah, because Heat 2 aligned with what we just watched.
Right.
Heat 3 aligned with what we just watched right now. And
So we get a lot of help here, folks, but we don't get every bit of information.
right, we don't get on-the-clock updates.
And you know
always.
what? We are not even complaining because these people down there running this meet, they have their hands full.
They do, and it's running smooth like butter.
Yes.
So we got hats off to them.
I mean, all we have left is the boys 300-meter hurdles, which right now we have one more heat of the girls, and then the boys 300 hurdles, they're going to raise the hurdles 1 or 2 notches. And then all we have is the 200, 800, and the 2 relays.
And the one relay, that 4x1, that flies by.
Yes.
So that's going to go very
You talk
quick.
about need for precision. One thing we don't do here, and you're doing a great job, we don't throw coaches, athletes, or officials under the bus because these are high school athletes.
Right.
Yes, these coaches are getting paid. It's volunteerism.
It
You
really
know,
is.
It really is. The amount of time they're putting in. So why can't the USA men's Olympic 4x1, 5 out of the last 7 Olympics, get the baton around the track?
And we talked about how it was kind of a big deal in the 4x2 and how it's a really big deal in the 4x1. You think something that's so crucial to the success of your team would be something so hammered into your DNA by the
Yes.
time it's go time, we would be able to crush it. And that's a really great question.
And I'm going to say this in a positive way. If somebody from the U.S. Olympic Committee is actually listening to our meet
That's
or
all.
watching it and they call me out, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Don and crew, I think I'm okay calling out the U.S. national men's team. And you are a track fan like me. You've probably watched Olympics and World Championships and gone, we got 3 of the top 5 fastest guys in the world, but we can't get the baton around the track.
Baton off.
But you know what? It's the practice.
Yeah.
The women's team will practice more. Some of the men's team people, they're like, we're fast, we'll figure it out.
Well, that comes back to what you were saying earlier, Ray, about the talent. And you have the speed. You might tend to neglect the smaller,
Yes.
intricate details of that
Yes.
handoff.
My high school teams, boys or girls that I coached, practice this every day at the end of practice. If you were a sprinter, you practice sprint handoffs.
Same with my coach. We
Mm-hmm.
did handoffs for the 4x1 almost every single day.
So you see the young lady on the infield, one hand's overhead trying to catch her breath, the other one was just on the ground slightly. That race is exhausting. And a lot of these girls that run the 300 hurdles, they were in the 400.
They are.
They're
and-
in the 4x4.
Yep.
That's a tough day.
That's a really tough day. That's a long day. It's a tough day, and that takes that word again, grit. Takes a lot of grit.
So the thing I will tell you about that, and folks, I like to educate you in case you care. Some people care more than others. But if you want to know what your child or your grandchild, if you're watching, goes through, or your child is there to coach, that recovery is important.
It
So
is.
if you go from this 300 hurdles and you just go sit in the bleachers until you run the 4x4, that's not good.
No. you're gonna be
You need to
tight.
go out. You need to go out, and in the next couple of minutes, you need to walk around. Then you need to do some striding out in the infield
Stay loose.
and cool down. You need to sit down and stretch your muscles good to get that lactic acid to get out of your muscles so that you're ready for your next race. And then 20 minutes before your next race, you need to get out there and
Re-warm
jog
up.
and re-warm up. If you don't do that, it can affect not only your performance, but injury. So this last
Bingo, because you're going to be stiff.
this last heat, it looks like we have Azaria Butler from Aberdeen. Is this the girls still? Oh, okay. So for the boy, we are in the boys heat. Okay. It looks like we have Taekwon Bellinger Bay from Joppatown against Earl Phillips III from Joppatown. Kind of funny when you have to race a teammate, but that doesn't look
Doesn't
like
look
two
like a
Joppatown colors.
Joppatown jersey. That looks like an Aberdeen jersey. And I'm wondering if they did the same thing and they've moved Heat 2 the Heat 1, because that very well could be Joppatown Cole Pollock
Yes.
and Aberdeen Sean McHenry.
Watch this. Cole does not have an entry time. If that's Cole, he was one of our stars and won 2 other events.
Yeah, I believe it was either the 100 or the 110.
So let's see if he can actually get a time in the end here that competes with our leaders. Based on the time and the distance lead he has, he beat our second place finisher by 35 meters.
And he probably did pretty well. And if I'm looking, I believe he won Heat 4 of the boys 110 hurdles.
Yes. So let's think about it this way. If Sean McHenry from Aberdeen runs a 52.74 and Cole just beat him by 35 yards, he might be in that 45 to 47 range.
He really could be,
which is our fast heat times. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results at the end of this. Now, this will be something that doesn't happen again. Now he'll have a seed time. So when he goes Uckbacks, if he does this event, he'll be in the fast
He'll be in
heat.
the faster with the faster
Yes.
runners, which simultaneously, usually you run faster when you're around faster people. Gives you that push, right?
Now, what grade is Cole in? He's a senior. So things are just different. This happened with us with swimming. We had 5 cancellations this year because of the weather, snow outs and other things.
Oh, yeah.
So literally, kids that we had planned on getting in more events didn't get the opportunity. So what we don't know about Cole is maybe he has run the hurdles last year, but the 300s. But maybe he didn't have a chance to this year because he got sick or hurt or a meet was canceled.
Some variables we don't know about.
Because that did not look like an inexperienced hurdler to me.
He looked pretty comfortable there, Ray, and I think his finish and time are going to show that, yes, he was comfortable.
So we have Caleb Jedlicka from Falston in lane 1. We had Devontae Williams from Aberdeen in lane 3. And we have David Lynn from Falston in lane 5. So if we didn't explain it already in the 110 hurdles and 100 hurdles, they stagger the lane, folks, in case somebody actually kicks a hurdle and it moves and it goes into the lane next to it. It's just their safeguard for them. They don't do that at the Olympic level, but they do it here.
I'd like to think at the Olympic level it shouldn't be as big a concern. It can happen, but...
All right, good job. Looks like our Aberdeen runner, Devontae Williams, coming first there. Excellent job all the way around. So now for our flyers here, Tyler, we got Jaden Ratcliffe from Falston in lane 1. We have Malik Adalani from Patterson Mill in lane 3. And we have Alex Gray from Bel Air in lane 5. 45.44 for Malik, 46.54 for Alex, and 47.84. Pretty impressive when your third seeded time is 47.84.
Yeah, for that to be the third seeded time in this, that means we're about to see some blazing speed.
And you know what? Keep this in mind, folks. Maryland weather. What's the old saying? It can change with whatever. There's some kind of saying I can't think of, but man, is it a roller coaster?
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to be back down in the 50s next week. We had weeks, last couple of weeks where we had days in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
And
it was under 32 degrees one of those nights.
Yes. And you know, as a runner, it's hard to run a good time in cold weather.
Oh, it's incredibly hard.
I mean, we talk about the heat being tough on the 2-mile runners or this or that, but it's also hard to run a 2-mile run when you're breathing in ice cold air for 8 laps around a track.
Yeah.
But for the sprinters, it's tough. This is unique.
Oh.
This is one person that must have missed their heat before, and they're letting them run. So this will be one of our people we were looking for before.
Okay, it looks like a Bel Air runner.
So it looks like our fast heat people are still out there getting ready for theirs.
Yeah, setting their blocks up.
So this must be, I'm at a loss because the only Bel Air runner I have listed
Is Alex Gray.
is Alex Gray. So they must have not put one in the program that was supposed to be in there. Which, kudos for them for letting the young man run.
Right. Or, you know.
Clerical errors happen once in a while.
It happens.
Don't hold it against the kid.
No.
Oh, that was one of our pet peeves, Tyler. Do you coach any sports? I know you train people at...
Not recently. I have dabbled with assistants in track and field before.
So,
what will drive a coach crazy, and I'm not saying it happened with that young man or any of the other ones that missed their races because they might have just been sick or hurt, but having to look for an athlete before an event, and they're wandering around or they're socializing or whatever.
It's a problem you shouldn't have.
No, but it happens, and it when you see coaches look a little bit more enraged, it's because they're searching for somebody.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because that is something that you should have them prepared for. They should know when their races.
Yes.
You only have a handful of races.
Yes.
You know when yours
And
is.
when
the
is that the
meets
biggest
keep the
problem?
same schedule.
For a relay.
Oh man,
When
and
you're
only
missing
3
one
of
of-
them show up. Where's
Yeah.
the last one?
Yes.
Where's the last one? He runs out of the bathroom, 20 seconds before the race starts. All 3 of your teammates are having a heart attack.
So I used to tell my athletes, please make my life easier for me. Please report to me, then report to the clerk of course, and let me see you out there on the infield. So I like watching the technique here. So I talked about not wanting, you mentioned before where some of the hurdlers were swinging their leg. These young men are lifting and driving their leg completely forward
Oh yeah, they're getting up, not over. Up.
in like kind of an unorthodox running motion when you go over the hurdle. Up, over, down, up, over, down. Good race.
It's very close here in these last 100 meters.
So Patterson Mill, Malik is in the lead.
He's breaking a little bit. That last straightaway, one more hurdle. Well
Okay.
done.
I'm going to go on record here, Tyler. I'm not a betting man, but I'm going to say Cole Pollock from the first heat is going to be in the top 5.
Oh, he's in there. Maybe even top 3 because he looked like he was too comfortable.
Yes.
He looked fast, and I would be surprised if he was not in the top 5.
So this is where, oh my goodness, we messed up. We have one more heat.
Ah, heat 5.
We just turned the page in our program, folks, so we thought that was speedy. This is even faster. They're not there?
I believe they're clean.
They're done. So,
hurdles
okay,
up.
here's where I'm going to apologize. We might not even have said the right names. That last heat might have been Gavin Post, Connor Sibbert, and Jackson Vaughn. But we had at least out of 3,
Yeah, 2
9,
heats that
out
were-
of 13 people, we had like 5 scratches.
Yeah.
So
So
they reseeded and did everything.
some information that we haven't been given. We're doing our best to keep up with these changes. We know there's a lot of moving parts here at track meets, just between the athletes and staff in general. So we apologize for that. But those are variables that we're not always in control of.
So I'm going to tell you a story that I had one of my best runners, Terry Vale from Bel Air High School days. He was very good. He came out to me his freshman year, and you and I were talking about the joys of coaching and teaching. And he came out, and I knew his mom, Carol Vale, wonderful woman, phys ed teacher, and she was my mentor, and it's very helpful to me in my early years. He comes out for my track team, and we have our preseason meeting, and he walks up and he goes, "Hey, Coach Ruse, I was told to say hello to you. My mother says good things about you." And I said, "Oh, I heard you were a good athlete." He goes, "Yeah, but I just want to let you know I'm a football player first, and I'm only out here to stay in shape and work on my speed and stuff."
Heard that before.
And I said, "Okay, I get where you're coming from, but I'm going to make you a track star, and you're going to be track first and football
A
second."
track runner that plays football, not a football player that runs track.
So he won county championships from his freshman year up. He won state championships. So he could run a 200, a 300 hurdle, a good 400. He could do field events, other stuff. So he ended up going on and doing the decathlon for West Virginia University. And then another college, I think he transferred to St. Mary's, which is known as a great decathlete college. People
Okay.
don't know that. So anyhow, we always had that dilemma of all the relay teams were begging me to put Terry on the relay because he would help us
You do it
anchor.
all.
Right. But when I could, I put him in 4 individual events. If he was a little bit gimpy from something, like an injury, I wouldn't make him triple jump that meet. I'd let him do a relay. He actually asked me one year, could he do the 300 hurdles and the 200 dash?
Back to back.
And I said, they're back to back, and you're going to be in the fast heat of the 300
So
hurdles.
you'll be the last one.
Yes. And he said, I know, I want to do it. He still won the 300 hurdles, He finished second at 200 dash.
So imagine if he had that little break time.
Yes.
He probably would have won
He
the
probably would've
200
won
as
that.
well.
Yes. But talk about a warrior. I'm like, I'm tired for you. And
Yeah.
I'm just standing here with a stopwatch in my hand.
And here I am complaining after the 4x1, I got to do the 4x4.
Yes, I've done
Yeah,
that.
it
though.
puts everything in perspective, huh?
Yes. So our first heat, if we're correct, the names are supposed to be Mahogany Sherd from Joppatown in lane 1, Amber Shulman from Falston lane 2, Ashaya Graves from Paris Mill in lane 3, and Avery Marie Bowens from Joppatown. So let's see what we're missing here. Looks like we have our inside Joppatown lane. Looks like we're listening to the out lane 4 Joppatown. But good job. Look at
Wow. Mahogany Shirt, a freshman.
she
Well
didn't even
done.
have a seat time, and she beat 2 people. Good run.
We could potentially see her a little higher up
Yes.
in the rankings as well.
She'll
Always love
probably-
to see that.
She'll probably be in competition with Heat 2. Let me let you get Heat 2 and 3 because I've been saying too much.
Alrighty, I'll take over, give you a chance to catch your breath there, Ray. So at Heat 2 for the girls 200 meters, in lane 1 we should have Chase Wright, Aberdeen. Lane 2 we should have Treasure Preston, Joppatown. 3, Kennedy Johnson, Bel Air. 4, Christian Dodd, Aberdeen. And 5, Eden Newkirk, Falston.
Thank you, Tyler. You gave me a chance to drink some water
I'll give you
there.
a sip of water there. And,
Yeah.
you know, back to my collegiate track days, I ran with someone, Sean Wright from Aberdeen. I'm wondering if there's any relation here. You never know. Harford County's a pretty small place. When I moved here, it seemed like everyone knew everyone
Yeah.
and everyone was related somehow. So I'd be curious.
Well, that's the neat thing about sports. Like, for me, be a little bit sappy here. When I fill in for Don and do an event, same thing that he has. I see so many people I know. So now, to show my age, I know more of the coaches now than the athletes, and I know more parents of the athletes. But it's still nice because parents will walk themselves up to me, and they'll go, "Hey, I want you to meet my coach," to one of the athletes. The parent, I coach the parent, and they'll tell their kid, "I want you to meet one of my teachers or coaches," and that's neat to see people and catch up with people. But yeah, especially in a sport like soccer or lacrosse, even baseball, softball, you can play on a club team that has kids from 6 different towns.
Yep.
And then you got to play against them on your high school match.
Yep, and you're like, oh, I remember
Yes.
you. I got to kick your butt now.
Yes. Or you just saw them that weekend in a soccer match for club, and now you're playing against each other on Monday night.
Yeah.
Under the lights for a high school match. So I have pictures from the Aegis and the Sun paper of people that I coached playing against each other and marking each other in a sport like soccer. And they're smiling because it's awkward funny for them that their friend and teammate is now trying to keep them from scoring a goal.
Almost surreal, I'm sure.
Yes, in track and field, it's mano a mano for sure because you're just trying to outrun your friend. So we have a little hold up here for the next heat of the 200. Sometimes that's just as simple as something happening wrong with the previous heat's results.
Okay.
And they're trying to clarify that because they want to get the kids their accurate time.
Right.
You
A
know.
championship meet like this, that's important.
So he's waving the white flag that he's ready, and they're waving the white flag that they're ready. So do we have to wave a white flag too that we're ready?
If we had one, I suppose we would be waving it, but we're just wave our arms, I suppose.
So this is Heat 2. Somebody here is going to play in the top 6 scoring.
Yeah.
If not, Mahogany from last heat. There we go. Pretty tight. Man, the USA women were awesome at this at the last Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
I'm blanking on the. Oh, look at that inside lane there.
That's Joppatown would be
Treasure.
Treasure Preston.
I'm going to say it's Treasure, but I'm not sure.
I think you're right. I think it's Treasure.
So our final heat, Tyler.
Looks like for heat number 3 in lane 1, we have Brianna Sullivan, Aberdeen. Lane 2, Kayla Potier-Greer, Bel Air. Lane 3, Jordan Robinson, Patterson Mill. 4, Leah King, Bel Air. And 5, we have Skylar Vega Falston.
I've actually had people do the 800-meter run, and they had to come back and be on the 4x4.
That's a quick break. That 4x1 goes really fast.
And you have the other gender in between you, but still, that's not
Still.
much. So, like, would a coach plan that? No. That would be like making somebody do the 200 free and the 200 IM back-to-back in the swimming. No, you wouldn't do that. But you have injuries and other. So I've even been in a rare occasion where and you are allowed to make second changes on relays, not individual.
Right, you can change someone on relay.
Right. So I've had situations happen where the communication didn't get to me yet. If I wouldn't have needed that person in the 800, I could have just scratched them from let them run the 4x4. But I've had people come up to me and go, "Coach, so-and-so's sick. They got to go home with their mom. Let me finish this race here because we got a good
like
battle
Jordan
here."
Robinson from Patterson Mill doing a really good job.
Very good form. Look at her form. Like,
wow.
her arms
That
are pumping
was
completely.
strong. Getting those arms up
Yes.
important. It helps you bring your legs up. You drive more force. You generate more torque, and you usually go faster. And she is a nice, clear example
We
of that.
even saw some of the good distance runners that would cross their arms across their body, which you don't want to do too much, but you can get away with that more in a distance race.
Right.
In a sprint, you want all motion, to your point, going forward. And guess what else was great about her form? Did you see her head? It was just steady and
Still,
moving.
not bobbing,
Yes.
not getting in the way.
Yes. And if you ever watch the higher level runners do that, you'll see their head completely still looking forward. Less experienced runners are fighting in their head and neck. Very, very impressive to Jordan's form there.
High running IQ performance, we call it.
So-
High running IQ performance.
Our first heat of the boys 200 meters is Caleb Jedlicka in lane 1 from Falston, Brian Fleischer from Bel Air in lane 2, Jaden Holly from Joptown lane 3, Isaac Ayanabeku from Bel Air, and then lane 5, Bryson Gibson, Falston. So I was trying to think what I was just referring to there about the, so it's kind of like a need-be situation. You're in a tight meet or a big meet like this, and all of a sudden somebody gets hurt. They might have been in the 300 hurdles. They might have tripped over the last hurdle. It could be the 800. So you have to replace somebody. If people have already been in 4 events, they're not eligible.
Can't use them.
So then you have to go to the 10 kids you have left and go, not to be mean, you only want 3 of them because they're faster than the other ones.
Right.
You go to those 3, hey, I need somebody to run the 4x4. Whoever makes eye contact you and half raises their hand will do it. The other 2 are looking away like,
Don't pick me, right? Don't
yeah.
pick me, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So you know who's mentally in it.
Yeah, so then you switch the relay around and you let that person go last so they get 3 more minutes of rest.
Right.
And you tell the other 3, kick butt, get them a good lead so they don't have to put 100% effort into it. And sometimes it's just, hey, if we can even get second place instead of third, we still win the championship. So I've been there with people, and that's a tough one, but hey, it's like stepping up for anything else, you know.
And sometimes
do.
you get them that mental motivation. You'd be surprised people hit that second win. They have that little extra that they didn't think they had until you put that perspective out
yes.
there.
So we have Corey Simmons from Patterson Mill in lane 1. We have Drew Nurse Ringgold from Patterson Mill in lane 2. We have Ubun Gabasi from Archibald from Falston in lane 3. We have Alexander Brooks from Aberdeen in lane 4. And Mackay Kenyon from Jopatown in lane 5. Alexander is in lane 4. So now you're getting into the,
To the sub 25s. And if you
Yeah.
look at this heat, all of these runners are within
0.6.
half of, yeah.
Wow.
So this should be a good one. I could definitely see one of these runners sneaking in to our top 6, even though they're not in the last
So what's
heat.
interesting, Tyler, is they're within 0.6. but they'll come in further than that.
Oh, for sure.
So one person's feeling it today, one person's not. One person did not come into that blocks the way they meant to.
And there's going to be a larger gap than what you might expect, because if you're running half a second faster than you do, which this gentleman from Aberdeen might do, but he might get caught by Joppatown there right at the end. Looks like he was able to.
And as soon as I justify why the gap might be bigger.
That was one of our closest races of the day, Ray. So it's almost like they heard you.
Yes.
Maybe they did. Maybe you keep saying that every race will be that
I'm going to
close.
show that old guy up there on the microphone. I can run my time. Well, the other factor is these are everybody's best times ever. And one person here might have had a harder day so far.
Right.
With events. Somebody else might have. Here comes this replay. Look at this. I think a young man from Aberdeen still held on.
I think he just had it with that lean. That lean we've been talking about all day. So important.
Excellent job, gentlemen. So, what happens if the first three in that heat get PRs by like a half a second, and the last three in the next heat have off runs? It totally flip-flops.
Opens up the opportunity for them to get those points. You're right. It'll flip-flop the whole standings.
And with the standings being as close as they are, that matters. So we have Owen Henfley from Patterson Mill in lane 1, Josiah Drass from Bel Air in lane 2, Malik Garrison from Joppatown in lane 3, Tavon Williams from Aberdeen in lane 4, and Sean Elam in lane 5. So after this, I'm going to try to update some events while they're lining up the 800 runners, because the starter still has to make his way across the way here.
I'm interested to see how Sean Elam runs. He was a very strong 400 runner. He won our 400 today. Sometimes 400 runners, their skills transfer into the 200 pretty well. So
again, Tyler, I'm going to set aside the fact that my times matched up with the fast heat, but I was running yards and they're running meters. I'm going to forget that part of it. So I don't know what the math is.
Okay, well, I'm gonna celebrate. My times were in meters, and they did match up with these.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that.
Man,
to know that I would have been competing today.
If we were in the same generation, we could have been on the same relay team together.
Probably would have had a lot of fun, right? Maybe too much fun.
Maybe too much. Oh, this is tight.
It's very tight. Looked like a close one between Tavon Williams and Malik Garrison.
Hopefully we get a good replay on that. And back to your comment, I think you and I would have been the ones doing extra sprints and hills at the end of practice.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we might be punished having to do that 800 meter and then the 4x4.
Okay, you got two different styles here.
Man,
I think Aberdeen, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. They are neck and neck.
So Malik got out to a faster start, but started to tighten up a little bit. Tavon came on strong at the end, and he had a slightly better lean, but Malik could have still, with a side view, held him off.
It's hard from this angle.
So we're going to have to wait and see the results. So they are getting ready to start the 800, but I'm going to try to find events that I did not call, Tyler, and I'm going to say that I called all the boys' results that are in because they just now finished the 200s, and I thought did I call the 300 hurdles? You know what? They don't have the result.
No, I don't think we've called 300.
Oh, no, here they are. So David Lynn was 6th from Falston. Gavin Post was 5th from Bel Air. Tavante Williams from Aberdeen was 4th, and we were right on him. Cole Pollock, 3rd place with a 44.3.
Wow.
And listen how close this is, folks. Jackson Vaughn from Bel Air, 2nd with a 44.2. And then Connor Siebert, 43.1. So I may go to Uckbacks just to see that race because I want to see those three in the fast heat.
Yeah, you let me know. I'd love to see that too. That is, man, and for Cole Pollock to do that in the slow heat with no time registered, that is impressive.
And nobody pushing them. So in the girls 300 hurdles, we have a tie for 5th place. Kayla Reynolds from Joppatown and Nyana Kaur from Aberdeen, 57.3 exactly. Then we had Thames Garcia Rivera from Aberdeen, 4th. Aberdeen's Azaria Butler, 3rd. Bel-Air's Abby Lippert, 2nd. And Bel-Air's Gait Derby in 1st with a 48.4. Anytime you could break 50, that's impressive.
Oh, yeah.
And then, if I didn't say it already, the 4x200 was Bel-Air, Leah King, Kennedy Johnson, and Lena Mailer and Kayla Podier-Greer. I did announce the girls shot and discus, high jump, and pole vault. So what we don't have in yet is long jumps and triple jumps. I'm not seeing those. And remember when I told you, those are the ones that come in later.
Right.
So in team scores, wow.
Ooh, we got
Men's,
this one at the top.
Bel-Air, 73.5, Joppatown, 70. So that is going to be interesting. That 4x4 and 4x1 might make it up.
It could make or break this meet.
Now, girls, Patterson-Mill 84.5, Bel-Air 65.2, Joppatown 59.5. Okay, now let's get this first heat of the girls 800. Tyler, I'll let you get that one.
All right, so the first heat of the girls 800-meter run, we have Katie Retzer from Aberdeen. 2, we have Mina Kneffel, Bel-Air. 3, Aheva Pratsjoik, Patterson-Mill. 4, Lucy Corpella, Falston. 5, Faith Manzaranes, Aberdeen. And 6, Alyssa Allen, Aberdeen.
So while I have a second here, I want to shout out another team, Falston, Jess Cox, head coach, field events, Jen Shannon, head coach, middle distance, third coaches, Jolie Tomko, long distance, Monica Worth, sprinters. Hey, shout out to an all-female track cat.
Girl power.
Yes. And then Patrick Mull's their AD, and Joe Collins is their principal. I think I got all the teams. Now, thank you to our officials. I do not know if this is like a lot of track meets where it's just the coaches or if they have their paid officials, but it's a combination of both, because I heard Joshua going over to the Joppatown coach and asking if we can have somebody run the shot put. So I know it's part coach run. I think it's all coach run and volunteers. So it's kind of a tough task because you don't get to coach your kids now.
Right, you're getting pulled for other responsibilities.
Yes. Now, who is this young lady in the
So
lead
I believe
here?
that's Aheva Pratsjoik from Patterson-Mill.
So we're going to watch out for this times. If she's not going out too fast and she holds this lead, then she's going to be in the running of that next heat. But let's see.
Very good chance if she can keep this going.
She comes in with a 255. So, and the second seed, the first seed comes in with a 250. So if she holds them off, then we're talking about her possibly doing a 10, 15 second time drop. I like her stride.
I do too. It hasn't broken down yet. We have about 220 meters left to go. If she can keep this up, I agree with you, Ray. I think she'd have a pretty decent chance of breaking into this top 6.
So I'm going to tell you another, remember we talked about how our young man, Nicholas Spangler, came back in that race in the 4x8? Well, when I was coaching John Carroll girls, I had 4 girls that virtually ran the same time.
Oh, wow.
But they all ran a faster time than the second, third, and fourth best McDonough girls. But the first McDonough girl ran like a 2:10, which for a girl is like national level.
Yeah,
she was ranked
D1.
nationally. So I told my girls, we need to get a lead. Who's willing to anchor? And one of my former coaches, Teresa Boopert, came back to coach with me after she graduated from John Carroll. The other 3 were like looking around. Yeah.
Right, we'd already talked about that.
And she raised her hand and said, I'll do it. And I told her something anti-normal. I said, you're going to get the baton with like a 100-meter lead. But that girl runs like 25 seconds faster than you. I said, normally I would tell you to pace yourself normal, but I'm not telling you that this time. I'm going to tell you to run an easy first 100. But the moment she's receiving her baton, I'm going to give you a signal. And you're going to pick up the pace and run like a pace of 220, 210 person runs for just 300 meters. She's like, okay. I said, it's going to tire you out. But the goal is that girl will realize, oh, I'm 100 meters behind and she's running the same pace I am. I can't catch her.
The mental
Yes.
battle.
So that girl ran for 300 meters and saw her running the same pace and not making up the 100-meter difference. And she just put her head down and started jogging a much slower pace. It worked. My girl mentally broke her. She died the last 80 meters, and we had to cheer her in. The other girl picked her head up and saw her hitting the wall and took off, but it was too late. And we won the race.
Too late. Well done, Coach.
And that girl said, Coach, I partly hate you, but I partly love you. That was the coolest thing, but the hardest thing I've ever done.
It's smart, though. It's a very unorthodox,
right.
like you said, non-normal or unnormal.
But I was happy for her because she did a really great thing for the team, and we won the state championship, and that 2-point difference meant the difference of us winning the state championship.
And that's back to every point matters.
Yes.
Every little point matters. And speaking of points, for Heat 2, for the girls' 800-meter run, we have Layla Solis, Patterson Mill, Aubrey Edwards, 2, Bel Air, 3, Carly Lenhoff, Patterson Mill, 4, Geit Derby, Bel Air, 5, Elena Williams, Falston, and 6, Elizabeth Arrington, Falston.
So let's see if Layla, is Layla even out there? She's so out
Yeah,
there.
she
She's
has
out there.
a healthy, strong lead, it looks like. That's why we missed her.
She's faster than the camera. No, just kidding.
That's what it looked like. It didn't look like because we couldn't see it. But I would say, yes, she has probably about a 20, 30-meter lead, and she is not breaking stride. So that lead may get even longer.
So the seed times between 2nd through 6th are much closer.
Oh, yeah, I see
So
that.
there could be a battle there. But like my last race with the hurdler, I want to go back and see how. Did you say it was a girl from Patterson Mill that won that last race too?
Yes, that was Aheva Pratyuk.
Yes, I want to see where she sneaks into this top 6.
I think there's a really good chance.
Yes.
Because she looked very strong in that last race.
So here we go with a nice, smooth stride, great technique for Layla or Lila.
Something about those sunglasses for Patterson Mill, it just works.
It works. I wear them, I look like a nerd, they look cool, so you know.
Yeah, I do not look cool in
My
sunglasses.
kids would say, Dad, no. Just take them off.
So it's not part of the fit, right?
Stick
That's
with
what
your
they say.
$10 sunglasses that you get from the cheap store.
My gas station sunglasses. Yeah, the only nice pair I've ever had was one given to me. And other than that, I've been gas station sunglasses.
So here we go with the boys 800 first heat. We have Christian Gomes at lane 1. We have Cole Miller, Patterson Mill, lane 2. We have Benjamin Tyndall from Aberdeen, lane 3. We have Eric Dunca, lane 4. We have Namewalai Shahid Peace from Joppatown, lane 5. We have James Mabelli from Joppatown, lane 6. We have Kareem Sariba Konate from Joppatown, lane 7. So shout out here, I think Eric Dunca might be the younger brother of Eugene Dunca, who I coached in swimming. It's that family connections you talk about. And
You start seeing names that are familiar.
Yes.
You put the puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
I coached your brother, or I ran with your dad.
so I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be interesting. This 800 heat for the fast heat coming up next,
I'm seeing.
that's some of our champions so far. So we have Nolan Murphy, who won the 1600,
right?
Do I see that right? He is the freshman, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was the freshman.
I think
from
he
Bel
won
Air.
the 1600.
Yes.
We have Nicholas Spangler, who anchored the winning 4x8.
And looked very strong.
And then we have Chris Novak, who won the 3200.
So we have, you said it, we have three
This is the battle of
kings
champions
going
here.
at it. Yeah.
Now
this-
let's hope we see Nicholas Spangler, because they pulled him from the 3200. Do we see him down here? I think
I
that's
see him down there,
Yeah. And guess what? They all have a seed time within .39.
Wow. I mean, it doesn't get much closer
That's
than that.
faster in a sprint, let alone an 800.
That's what I'm saying. When it's that close in an 800, they are going to be bumper to bumper
That's where
for most of this race.
the strategy means so much, because they all have the speed and the endurance. Let's see what happens on that start line.
Who's going to run the better race? It's
Yeah.
not always about who's faster. Who's going to run the better race? That will be the difference.
If you get shouldered out at the start line,
throw off your whole race.
yes.
Could be done before it
let's
even
just
starts.
let's just say that Nicholas gets shouldered out by Nolan and Chris. That affects his race. Let's say Chris gets shouldered out by Nicholas and Noah. That affects their race. It's every one of them has to get out there. Now, as long as one of those top 3 seeds aren't coming off the turn in 6th place,
Right.
they're probably okay. But let's just do this a little bit deeper, Tyler. There's no other slouches in that race.
No.
4 and 5 are Noah Janigan and Andrew Burstein
They're right there.
at 207s.
They're right there.
If somebody messes up in front of them,
You get caught sleeping at the wheel at this race.
Yes.
You're going to get passed.
yes. Oh, I'm excited. That's a good race. And now we got our leader here in this race trying to think of how they can sneak in higher. And I think it's Patterson Mills, so that would mean that would be Cole Miller. Oh, no, is that
Looks
Aberdeen?
like Christian Gomes from
Aberdeen, my bad. It is our leader.
But Patterson Mill is getting on his tail, and we all know this last 100 meters for the 800
Yes.
is a tough one. But it looks like
Kristen's going to hold
he's going to be able to
Kristen's gonna
hold him
on.
off. Well done. Let's see if that's good enough to get him into the top 6 after this next heat.
Yeah, he'd probably have to drop time, but we don't know that yet. We don't know what their times are.
Right. We just don't. We don't know what's going to happen. That's the beauty of track and field.
By the way, we don't have it on camera right now, but I always love the scenic views of the being in the press box and seeing out in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. But what a beautiful stadium. I mean,
Oh, it's fantastic.
beautiful turf field, nice track. Aberdeen's doing it good.
Yeah, hats off to their groundkeepers here. The field looks great. Track is in excellent condition.
And you can't see it behind us, but their baseball field, I don't know if you looked at it when we came up the stairs, it's beautiful. We didn't know what a turf field was when we were in high school. You probably did, yeah.
Lock-Raven, we had a dirt field for football, but when we would scrimmage the private school, which was Baltimore Lutheran, I believe now it's Concordia Prep, they had a really nice turf field. That was my experience, and that's when I began to appreciate turf care.
And when our track was dirt, and
We actually had we had rubber tracks. Remember, I wasn't running with cavemen.
no, I'm saying I ran with dirt
Yes.
now. No, we were happy with what we had, and I'm just happy for these kids in this generation that the school systems give them these nice facilities and so forth. I mean, I played my first turf soccer game when I was going into college, and the Loyola coach wanted me to play, so I went up and did a friendly with some recruits. But I did my first night soccer game when I was in state playoffs. That was the only reason.
Okay.
So this, I like the way the first 2 broke out, and it looks like our 3rd seed literally slid into 2nd right from the start there. So I think, if I have this right, Nicholas is in the lead.
Yep.
And I think Chris Novak slid into 2nd, and I think Nolan got just edged out on the start there, and he's in
And
3rd.
that could be the difference maker, because now he's going to have to work a little harder, not just to get around his own teammate, but to get back in the first place. And it looks like he's making a move right here at the end of this straightaway. in front of his first teammate.
But there is a factor to drafting too. We talked about.
So this might be a part of the strategy.
Right.
You know, there's a reason he's the #1 seed.
So maybe he's a closer.
Right, it's a different type of runner. Maybe his strength is the second lap.
But the way that we saw Nicholas run that 4x8.
His strength is also the final part of the race. So this is going to be good. So buckle in your seatbelts, and let's get ready to see the final lap.
So he's trying to pass on the turn.
On the turn, we've talked about that.
Nicholas was smart, and he held him off, and he made him run extra yards, which he's still doing. So let's see if those extra yards factor. So he's working hard to take that lead. So did we say that was...
So now that's Nolan Murphy.
That's Nolan.
Yeah, because lane 3, Chris Novak, he did get in second in the beginning, but now he's back to third. Nicholas Spangler in second with Nolan Murphy in first.
And Chris has kind of laid, Nolan is kind of, no, you said Nolan's in the lead.
Yes.
Chris is kind of relaxed in the background.
But Chris, it looks like he's making a move. Nicholas might be able to hold him off.
We might have the wrong names here. That's 2 Bel Airs.
2 Bel Air sandwiched, 1 Falston.
That might be Andrew Burstein.
Could be.
Yes.
Looks like Bel Air finished first, followed by Falston, and...
So what I think threw us off is I think Chris Novak might have not been in the race.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's Bel Air, not Patterson Mill.
Yeah. So I think Chris Novak didn't show.
No, so that could be Andrew Burstein, and I apologize.
Yes. So it looks like Noah Jenigan and Chris Novak might not have ran, but maybe they did. One did. But that was Andrew Burstein that was in the running for that the whole way, too.
Wow. Well, hats off to him. And again, I apologize there.
And he hung in there.
Well run.
He hung in there really good. So we are down to our last 2 events. So while they're doing getting them to the 4x100 spots, I'm going to see if we have any entries that I did not call. And I'm looking for the long and triple jump. And I'm not seeing the long and triple jump coming. And if we don't get those to you in time for this telecast, folks, I apologize. And if we don't get those results in time, our final score won't be the final score. So the best we can do is say who we have. So right here, 6th place in the girls 800 was Elizabeth Arrington Falston. 5th place, Ahava.
And that's impressive.
Ahava Prochka.
She was in the first heat.
Yeah, and she wasn't far off of 4th. Elena Williams from Falston was 4th. Geit Derby from Bel Air was 3rd. Aubrey Edwards from Bel Air was 2nd. In first place with a 2:24, which is a very credible time, people. That'll do well in states.
Oh, yeah.
Layla Solis. So let me go back to let's see how quick they are. Let's see how quick they put this boys 800 in, if they do. Nope, not yet, but that'll be in there soon. And I don't see the long and triple jump for boys or girls so far. So let me go to the team scores. It was still 73.5, so they had not.
That looks like the same scores.
It was the same scores before, so they must not have added the 800 for the boys, which they haven't, because that just happened. Patterson Mill, looks like their girls are starting to run away with it. They have a 19-point lead. So, is that insurmountable? No.
No, but they'd
have to drop a baton or two.
They would have to score 0 points these next 2 events, and Bel Air would need to sweep.
Right.
So,
and
is it possible? Yeah.
And whatever happens in the long and triple jump.
Oh, can't forget the field events.
Yes.
Points on the table.
Yeah. So, so right here, we have our 4x100. This is the speed race. This is the technical race that Tyler and I have been breaking down for you. We have in Heat 1 for the girls, And they do have,
I think it's one
heat,
each. These
but-
are all finals.
but they don't have 2 teams in it. So heat one, the girls' only heat has Falston with Delapo, Amayeni, Anaya Foreman, Eden Newkirk, and Amber Shulman. Lane 2 from Joppatown, looks like our top seed. Avery Marie Bowens, Morgan Holly, Mahogany Sherd, and Tiana Jones. In lane 3, so they do put these back to back, side by side by side. Belair, Leah King, Kennedy Johnson, Lena Mailer, and Kayla Podier Greer. So 54-5-4, 55-8-4, 59-7-4. So I'm going to sneak ahead here and see. Joppatown is also the #1 seed in the boys. So let's see if they can win the.
Got some 100-meter dashers in Joppatown. Let's see if they can put them together for a clean relay. Because as we said earlier, the handoffs can make or break this race.
So the young man that I wanted to shout out when I was talking to Joppatown coach, graduated last year from Joppatown, was Justin Naylor, and he's running for Charleston Southern.
Cool.
He was county record holder last year in the, I think he broke the county record, but he was state champion in the either the 800 to 1600 to 1600 800. So you got people standing on the blocks here. This person has to put their hand around the baton. Their hand cannot be over the line, and they have to hold it tight
While holding themselves up.
and coming out of that
Yep.
drive. So, Tyler, I'm going to task you with a chore here. You can follow Joppatown only. See if they switch hands with the baton or they go left, right, like we talked about. So she's going right to.
Hers is in her right.
Oh.
Looks like they switched. I think they.
Is that Joppatown?
No, in
We lost
Front
it right
right.
back here. So she has it in
in
her
her
left. So
they
they
are
did.
switching, and they're making up some ground now.
That was a
they
good
switch
exchange
again.
there. 2 good exchanges for both of the teams in the camera. So let's see. Oh, this is tight.
This is going to be tight.
She's gaining there. This exchange could be the difference.
Yep, because they're going to be handing off at the same exact time, and now here we go. This is neck and neck. They're coming around this last straightaway. Looks like Joppatown's in the lead, but Bel Air is making their move. I think Bel Air may have got her.
That's going to be tight.
Oh, this
it
was
went back and forth.
exciting. Yeah.
So I will say one thing. Bel Air's exchange was quicker. Their anchor was moving. So here's this replay.
Ooh, I don't know.
I'm not calling this one, guys.
I mean, their arms are so. Oh my God.
If I don't get declared the winner of this, I might be the coach that throws the red challenge flag.
Right, they do that. You do that at high school track and field.
Are we calling, what's the guy they say?
They're protesting the results.
What's the guy that is always in the booth on the football games?
They're gonna call up New York. Yeah, we're gonna
Yes.
get the challenge coming from New York, Ray. We're here back from CBS in just a few minutes.
So why don't you name the boys' relay names for me? Because we have one from every team.
All right, so this is a full 4x1 boys relay, and in lane 1 we have Falston with Evan Chacona, Bryson Gibson, Jaden Ratcliffe, and Ubangabasi Archibald. Lane 2, Patterson Mill with Chamonte Roberts, Drew Nurse Ringgold, Owen Henfey, and Liam Pridgeon. Lane 3, we have Joppatown with Connor Bates, D'Artanan Blackney, Malik Garrison, and Cole Pollock. Lane 4, we have Aberdeen with Alexander Brooks, Ian Battle, Gavin Smith, Tavon Williams. And in lane 5, we have Belair with Isaac Aonbekyo, Rufus Bradley, Brian and Flesher, and Carter Washington. And many of these names we have heard all day long through our sprint events. So not a doubt in my mind that this is going to be an intense and fast race.
So I'm going to tell you right now, Tyler, without knowing the long jump and triple jump results, I would be shocked if Joppatown wasn't good in the long jump and triple jump.
Yeah, they've been good
If
in the
they're
other field
sprinters, and if they're sprinters, any of them are doing the long and triple jump. Because what do we look for as a coach for the long and triple jump? Speed and power. So I always turned my 100 dashers that were available into a longer triple jumper.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
The skills transfer really
Right.
well.
Now you would think that sometimes the kid that runs the 100 dash also runs the 200 and also runs the 4x1 and 4x2, but not always.
Not always.
Because there are kids that are 2-4 and there are kids that are 100, 200.
Yes.
And there are kids that they're phenomenal at the 100, but they're just above average at the 200.
Right.
And then you have other kids who are phenomenal at both. Then you have the kids that are phenomenal at the 2-4, but they're not quick enough for the 100. So if they aren't in both sprints and both sprint relays and they had an event left over, I was making them a vertical
Jumping.
jumper.
You're jumping. We're not leaving points on the table.
Yes. So if that's true, I'm not saying Bel Air isn't good at the long and triple jump, but the sprinters tend to be long jumpers.
Yeah.
Now, some 400, 800 runners have those springy legs and that stride that they're triple jumpers. So that could be Bel Air's chance. But right now, we've got Bel Air 3.5 points in front of Joppatown.
Wow.
That can change on this relay.
It could. It could because
Joppatown's number 1 seed,
Joppatown is the number 1 seed.
and Bel Air's the number 4 seed.
Yeah.
So that's a 10, 8, 6, 4. That's a 6-point difference if that holds.
I would flip-flop them.
Yes. Now, I would say Bel Air would be darn good in the 4x4.
I'm assuming they will be because they do have the Open 4 winner. I
Right.
believe that was Nolan Murphy.
Look at that. Joppatown's out there. And clean handoff.
Clean. All clean handoffs.
And then you can't see it now, but the people at the zone that have a flag, they keep their flag up white if all the exchanges were clean.
They're clean in the exchange zone. And wow, Joppatown looking really strong, but Aberdeen right on their back. Joppatown will hold them off and get the victory for the boys.
That might have been Bel Air 3. Am I wrong?
I think Bel Air was either 3 or 4.
Oh no, they were in
That
lane
might have
5,
been
so they
Patterson
were.
Mill at 3,
that was-
Bel Air at 4.
I think Bel Air was at 4 or 5. Yes.
Yeah.
So, not counting the vertical jumps, Joppatown's an elite.
Yep.
Maybe because we didn't have the 800 results in there.
Oh, that's a good point.
So we got to update this, folks. So, let me explain something about that 4x1 before we give you the 4x4. We're down to our final event. Meet's exciting, meet's close, a lot of great performances. You have a beginning and end of that zone. So I don't know the exact difference, but let's say 10 meters before there's maybe a 20-meter zone that you have to receive the baton in. So let's say Tyler's got the baton and he's coming in to me. I might start 5-6 meters before the first line because I know I'm going to get in there.
Right.
And I'm going to, when you get, now we have we call a mark. I will go out there and I will put a little piece of tape on the track or some other mark, and I'll know that as soon as Tyler hits that mark, I take off. And we have practiced this to precision. I know if I go out at full speed now, you are going to be coming up my back about halfway into that zone, and I'm going to lean forward slightly, and sometimes there's a noise signal or whatever, and I just do a snap forward with my body like the lean at the finish line, and I throw my hand back, palm up, and Tyler lays the baton right in my hand. So my job is to leave a nice, still target, not bouncing my arm around.
Don't move that hand.
And
Makes
then
it
your
so much
job
harder.
is to put it in there. Now, if for some reason Tyler I left a little early, he'll say slow down.
Oh, yeah.
He'll scream it. And then I will slow down, but I won't stop because he'll run me over.
Right. You can't stop. It'll be worse.
I'll slow down. If he's running up my back, he'll know to slow down and place it in my hand Now, every once in a while, you get the person that starts reaching their hand back to find it. That's not what's supposed to happen.
That's making it even harder on me. Don't
Yes.
guess, just give me a target.
Yeah, I've actually seen the people who are handing off the baton grab the person's hand,
And take
make
it
it
from
still, and then put the baton in their hand. Like, stop. Stop moving your arm.
Yeah, I've had to yell like that plenty of times.
Right.
Again, I was always the lead leg, so I was always doing handoffs, basically begging, keep it still.
Other than that relay that we won in indoor track, when I was in outdoor track in the 4x1 and 4x2, I was usually middle leg. So I
So you had to
handoff
do
and
both?
Yes.
See, that's one thing I never did. I
Yes.
never had to take a handoff, whether it was the 4x1, 4x2, or 4x4. They always made me start because I was the most used to going out of blocks. And all these
Well,
races
that's a factor.
coming out of blocks. And if you're
Yes.
the best one coming out of blocks, it might be more important than you, even if you're not the fastest in the relay. Because
No.
if someone who's faster doesn't have a clean block start, that might mess them up more than it will affect you.
No, you hit it on the head. That's exactly good coaching. You have one person, so in swimming, who has the best dive off the start.
Okay, so
from the
that's what
starter.
it's called when they jump
Yeah.
off. It's a
Yeah.
dive off.
Yes. Now,
Okay.
some people in swimming are better at the relay exchanges, so they're good at timing the person coming in. So a coach might say, Johnny is best or Julie is best at the timing the official start without false starting. So we want them to go there. So yes, in track, who's best at coming out of the blocks? Now this 4x4, which may decide the meet for a couple of these teams, they do the open hand receiving usually, like they did in the 4x8. But the thing is, if Tyler's handing off to me, I'm not turning my back to him. I'm turning my side to him.
Yep.
I'm facing the inside of the track because anybody that's inside of me, I want to make sure I can see them, that I'm not going to run into them
Bingo.
while they're doing their
Because once they
exchange.
finish this lap, that's when you can break in
Yes.
to the inside lanes, and you're no longer bound to your lane.
So what Tyler means by that is this first runner is going to run entirely in their lane. The second runner is going to receive in that same lane, but once they leave, they can cut in the lane one. Now the official's job is, as the second runner is running around the track, they see that so-and-so is in first place. I need to move their third baton receiver into lane one.
Right, they got to position them as they come. Another unsung part of our officiating and
Right.
crew here. That is another really tough thing, especially when you have two runners that are close, pulling ahead, falling back, pulling
Yes.
ahead. You can't just keep shaking and moving those two people that are next. You got to be ready.
So we'll show you that at each stage as this happens. Now, I don't see it in this race, Tyler, but some 400 dashers use blocks.
And I was surprised by that too, Ray. I don't see a single set of blocks for this
Right.
race, and that's okay. Some don't start with blocks. And, I'm sure your coach, and I'm sure you've said it, and I know my coach, and that if I've said it, if you're not going to effectively use the blocks, don't use them.
Yes. So we have an inside lane here taking the lead, and did we call these names yet?
For the girls 4x400 meter relay in Heat 1, or only Heat, Lane 1 is Falston with Annabelle Blowen, Meredith Whittington, Lily Winterstein, and Elizabeth Arrington. Lane 2 is Joppatown with Taylor Wright, Kayla Reynolds, Ryan Johnson, and Kalia Bates. Lane 3, Patterson Mill, Carly Lenhoff, Jordan Robinson, Emma Lyman, Hannibal Wong. Lane 4, Bel Air, Madison Berth, Geit Derby, Aubrey Edwards, and Abby Lippert. And Lane 5, Aberdeen, Brianna Sullivan, Eliana Deku, Chase Wright, and Katie Retzer.
So what a good lead that our Patterson Mill girl, Carly Lenhoff, is bringing in here.
Well done.
Now she is staying in her lane.
Oh, we saw a baton drop.
So they stayed in their lane. So this is either a 2-lap stagger or a lap and a half stagger. Have you ever seen that? I've seen meets where they come off the turn for the second person.
And now I
then
think
cuts
she's breaking in, so
That's
it
what
was that turn.
So that was a 600-meter stagger.
Okay.
I think they do that so that if it's a tight race on the handoff, you're the second runner for Joppatown, I'm the second runner for Bel Air, you don't cut me off right after we hand off.
Yeah, less chance of a collision,
Yes.
less chance of there any impact. And you see right here, Bel Air making a move on that turn.
Yes.
And they're passing Patterson Mill. Let's see if they're going to hold strong here.
So this is where you're feeling it.
Oh, yeah, the burn. You're just praying that you can make it to the end as fast as you can. Don't leave me, don't leave me. Hand off clean. See you later.
And each girl will slide over to the inside lane more once one team hands off and leaves.
For those of you wondering what the triangles are for on the track, that is the exchange zone.
Yes.
If you're ever wondering what those are for, that is where you start and hopefully finish your handoff before you leave it.
So she's got herself a decent lead
Comfortable
here.
lead, yeah, probably about a 20-meter lead.
Let's see where we see Patterson Mill in the picture here. And hey, if you live in this neighborhood, you have a great chance to watch sports for free all the time.
Right?
Come over and put a chair up against the fence in the grass.
Get prime viewing.
Put a grill out there. You know what?
I just sit on my roof and watch it right from over there.
So that was a great leg by our third runner, Aubrey Edwards from Bel Air. And you know what? Even though it's a slower exchange, watch the baton into your hand.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen people turn. It's kind of like the receiver in football that turns their head before they catch it.
You're thinking about what to do with it before you actually have it.
Yes. So.
And we saw a drop in this
Yes.
race.
Yes. And you got to realize in this race, the person coming in is exhausted.
Exhausted.
It's not the 4x1. It's not even the 4x2. They're tired. So you have to take that baton out of their hand practically.
Yeah.
I mean, especially the 4x8.
There were some times where I'd hand that baton off, and then you'd feel like you'd fall flat on your face, and the officials would basically force you to roll on out, or don't you dare fall, get up and get out, because you are gassed. This is not just one of the harder races, but this is the last race. So whatever you have on the day, you leave it on the track here, and it looks that's exactly what Bel Air's girls team is doing here.
So Abby Lippert bringing home the win. Again, what a wonderful feeling. I mean, you feel good for yourself, but you feel really good for your team when you bring home a relay.
Oh, yeah, you feel good for your team, you feel good for yourself, and you feel good because you know you're done for the day.
Yep.
You just finished up.
Annabelle Wang actually made up a lot of ground
She did.
on that.
Patterson
last
Mill, right? Yeah, Patterson Mill, they were closer than we thought they were going to be there at the end.
So, do you know which team dropped the baton? I think it might have been Joppatown.
I believe it was Joppatown, okay. Yes, unfortunately.
Did they finish?
But they came back and they actually passed Falston, so
okay.
It must not have been too rough of a drop.
It's an easy pickup.
It's an easy pick of this pace, and sometimes you luck out. I've seen batons hit off the track, bounce up.
I've seen batons hit the ground and the runner accidentally kick it. You know, so.
Now, what's the rule on that? If you kick the baton, are you disqualified even if it's accidental?
I'm not 100% sure.
That's something we'll have to look at.
Okay, so let's do our last race here. Our first heat. We have Falston in lane 1 with Caden Miller, Blake Kraft, David Lynn, Braden Pistol, Joppatown lane 2, Mude Kalage. We have Kamari Drawn, we have Malik Garrison, and we have Dardiston Blakeney. Patterson Mill, we have Malik Adalani, we have Connor Sibbert, we have Chris Novak, we have Noah Janigan, we have lane 4 Aberdeen, DeMarcus Darby, we have Alexander Brooks, we have Ian Battle, and we have Sean Elam. And in lane 5, we have Bel Air with Alex Gray, Nolan Murphy, Jackson Vaughn, and Gavin Post. So, this is our last race. I'm going to do our crew a favor because we've been here a long time, and we're going to go on about 3 hours and 45 minutes for the meet. But great job for the host team and other for their ability to host the meet. This meet could have gone 4.5 hours.
It was smooth like butter, Ray. I haven't seen any issues with the officiating. Everyone seems like this was just a really, really well put together event. So hats off to all of the volunteers, all of the workers, the Aberdeen crew that was able to make this possible today. It's been a great meet.
Shout out to our crew and producers for a great job, cameramen. I mean, this is one of the tougher sports to view, following the runners around the track, going back and picking up other packs. We appreciate that greatly, getting the good photo finishes. So does anything stand out to you today? Any individuals that, stand out? I mean, obviously our couple 1,600, 3,200, 800 stars were great. If I'm not, is it Pollock or Pope that we think won multiple events?
Pollock definitely stood out. Spangler early on with that relay where he was the last leg, did a great job. And then the freshman for Bel Air, Nolan Murphy, winning the 400 as a freshman was very impressive. Very impressive.
So I'll give you this with the 800 results. Men's, Joshua Atha was 6th. Logan Genever was 5th. Nicholas Diaz was 4th. Andrew Bernstein from Bel Air. And that was Diaz from Bel Air and Bernstein from Bel Air. Nicholas Spangler from Falston, 2nd. And Nolan Murphy from Bel Air, 1st. And then I'm still going to see one more time. And if we don't have long jump and triple jump results, then we're not going to be able to give you the final team results. And it's, not fair to do so. I already gave the girls 800. 4x100 girls was Bel Air, Leah King, Kennedy Johnson, Lena Mailer, and Kaylin Podier-Greer. And then the men's, if I didn't say it, I don't know that they'll have it there that quickly, but no, it was Joppatown. It was Connor Bates, Darton and Blakeney, Malik Garrison, and Cole Pollock. So Cole Pollock got a lot of gold medals today.
A lot of points.
He might be a forefront.
He might be taking home 4 medals today.
Yeah, he got 2 relay golds and 2 individual golds.
And one of them he had no time for. He was running in the slow heat.
Oh,
so
he might not have got that gold then, did he?
I don't think he got gold, but I believe he
won the
place.
110 hurdles, and he won the
200.
He won a field event.
Oh, okay.
I thought he won a field event.
I also made a mistake. Nolan Murphy did not win the 400. It was the 800. So that is my correction.
Cole Pollock won the high jump.
Wow.
So he won an individual running event. He won a field event and anchored 2 winning relays. That's definitely one of the stars in that.
He may have had the best performance of the day.
Yep.
And other good performances right now, I believe, is that Patterson Mill, who just made a strong push for first here on the last leg of our 4x400 meter relay. Looks like it. He's turning around looking. Don't look, just run.
Noah Janigan, yeah.
Looks like it's going to be Patterson Mill, Bel Air, Aberdeen, Joppatown, Falston.
Great job. So what I'm going to do here, folks, and we're going to wrap up, is I'm going to look at just the team scores for what I have, and then if we get a chance and get the final results later, we'll post them listed on the tape-delayed broadcast so people can see the results. So they still hadn't even added in the 800 men's or either relay and the 2 long jump and triple jump. So I'm going to say most likely Bel Air or Joppatown are going to be the men's champion. And I'm going to say Patterson Mill will probably hold on for the girls.
I believe so, more than likely.
But anyhow, the first thing and main thing I want to do is thank you, Tyler, for being here. You did a wonderful job. And
had a great time. This was exciting, and I'd love to be back.
Yeah, you're natural. So So thank you to Bella Aberdeen for the host, Tyler for being here, the crew. It's been a great meet. Stay tuned for future Harford TV Sports Network events. I'm Ray Hrues with Tyler Scruggs signing off. Take care and have a good one.